Then this is a stiff reminder for the players today. It's something that I didn't play for Manchester United. I'm not connected, but I know all about it because it's so synonymous with this club. And it is a terrible tragedy and something that is still felt around this place, because you see the emotion in the fans that are standing up to show their respects as well. It's still felt around this club, and it's great that they're still remembered, and the tribute is paid to the players that, as you say, lost their lives far too early. And I'll go back to the point, every single day should be a privilege to these players anyway, but if it isn't, they're reminded of it today.
Well said, James. That beautiful big banner is finally folded away, so it's trickled its way all the way across the lower tier of the Stretford end. Bruno Fernandes and Kurt Zouma have shaken hands. West Ham United, white shirts, claret blue shorts and white socks in a team huddle just ahead of kick-off here. I think Middlesbrough-Sunderland has just finished in the Championship. Chris Coles.
It has, Ali. The Teeswear derby ends. Middlesbrough 1, Sunderland 1. Absorbing watch throughout. Marcus Forss goal cancelled out by Nazari Ruzin for Sunderland. Middlesbrough 1, Sunderland 1.
Thank you, Chris. So Manchester United, they will defend the goal in front of the Stretford end. We're underway on 5 Live and BBC Sounds this afternoon. Manchester United and West Ham both in action on Thursday night. Manchester United in that madcap finish at Molineux against Wolves. Kobbie Mainoo's got his first touch of the afternoon. He scored that brilliant late winner to give them the 3 points. This afternoon they start 1 point behind West Ham in the table. Manchester United unbeaten in their last 15 home league games against West Ham, but when these two teams met just before Christmas at the London Stadium, West Ham were deserved and comfortable winners by 2-0. Lucas Paquetá was playing for them that day. This afternoon at Old Trafford, they don't have him. So Bournemouth Nottingham Forest underway. Commentary via the BBC Sports website and app. Chelsea Wolves also underway. That's available on Sports Extra. We'll keep you updated on events as they happen at both of those games. And here's Ben Johnson starting for West Ham again, who is tripped inside the West Ham half. Wins a free kick. And just watching the early West Ham lineup, James McFadden, what are we thinking tactically from David Moyes?
Well, it's a back four. We thought it potentially be a back three. Soufal's gone into the right back area. Ben Johnson has gone over to the wide right, more advanced, and Kudus has come over to the left hand side. I think that, we mentioned Calvin Phillips and why he potentially wasn't in the team. It's probably more of a defensive mind there, having Ben Johnson in the wide area. You look at the runs that Luke Shaw was making in that first half against Wolves. He had the freedom at that left hand side, so Johnson will be there to match that. He'll also be there to double up on Marcus Rashford for when he likes to cut inside. Soufal can take him if he goes down the line. Johnson will make sure he gets back and stops that threat from Marcus Rashford on coming into his stronger right foot. It's easier said than done, but that's clearly the plan. James Ward-Prowse will play in support of Jared Bowen, who's going through the middle, and then you've got the solidity in that midfield of Alvarez and Souček. So yeah, as a slight change, certainly in the personnel, but it will then be in that set-up for West Ham to be that more defensive minded to try and negate the threat of Marcus Rashford and Luke Shaw down that left hand side.
2 minutes in, Lisandro Martinez playing alongside Harry Maguire this afternoon at centre-back. That's the one change for Manchester United. Rafael Varane starts on the bench. Early stages at Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
Lively start. Chelsea 0, Wolves 0. Chance early on for Wolves. Pedro Neto through. Chelsea guilty of giving the ball away, but saved by Petrovic, and Nkunku's just gone close at the other end. Chelsea 0, Wolves 0.
Ball at the feet of Marcus Rashford. Plays it forward for Bruno Fernandes. Just beyond him. Fernandes did well to keep that for Manchester United. Back it comes to Luke Shaw with the socks rolled down in the bright green boots. Diogo Dalot in central midfield there, trying to thread a pass through. Intercepted. Ben Johnson brings it away. Right of midfield, as James McFadden was explaining. He's fouled again and wins the free kick for West Ham. So Manchester United have Andre Onana in goal. Dalot, Maguire, Martinez and Shaw the back four. Kobbie Mainoo, the 18-year-old, alongside Casemiro in central midfield. Garnacho, Fernandes, Rashford, with the young Dane Rasmus Højlund through the middle. And West Ham, Alphonse Areola comes trotting forward in a mixture of dark yellows and bright yellows, his goalkeeping uniform this afternoon. Soufal right back, Emerson left back. Naif Aguerd is back in the team, back from international duty after Morocco were knocked out of the Africa Cup of Nations. Sofiane Amrabat, Moroccan international, on the bench for Manchester United. So Aguerd partners Kurt Zouma. Ben Johnson on the right of midfield as the cross comes in from the right flank for West Ham. Edson Alvarez in central midfield for West Ham. Thomas Souček as well. James Ward-Prowse, Mohamed Kudus supporting Jared Bowen up front. Just under 4 minutes in, 0-0. Header forward from Ward-Prowse. That's to chase his own header. Martinez comes across for Manchester United. Stoops heads the ball to his left. Casual pass out from Casemiro. Finds the target though, Garnacho. Plays back to Dalot. Dalot curls a pass into his own penalty area. West Ham fans in good voice away to our right. Luke Shaw. Little ball forward to Martinez. Shaw again. Thinks about a pass down the left-hand touchline and instead comes back into his own penalty area. So Harry Maguire making a 10th Premier League start of the season. Bright yellow boots for him this afternoon. Ball into midfield to Casemiro. First touch layoff to Martinez. Our full 30 commentary this afternoon on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday is a big one. That is Arsenal against Liverpool. So back-to-back Premier League commentaries to be followed by 6:06 this evening. Chris and Robbie taking the calls from 6:30. Bruno Fernandes, his pass blocked by Vladimir Sofal, and the ball is out for a throw-in to Manchester United, which Rashford's taken quickly. Thrown to Shaw. Shaw is now trotting back towards the halfway line. Martinez closed down by Bowen, but had plenty of time to find Dalot. Dalot just inside the West Ham half, opens his body up, sprays a pass out to the right. It bounces twice in front of Garnacho. Back to Dalot. Dalot pings it across to Luke Shaw, controls it, finds Rashford. Rashford's pass into the path of Shaw, hoiks a ball up into the air. Easy catch for Areola in the 6-yard box. Early goal at Bournemouth, Henry Moran.
And Bournemouth have the lead. Corner from the left-hand side. Sinistera into the side today. Flicked header at the near post beyond the debutant goalkeeper, and Bournemouth have the lead. Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 0.
Commentary of that game available online via the BBC Sports website and app. This is Manchester United 0, West Ham 0. Early stages, James McFadden, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, West Ham, when Man United have the ball in the defensive area, they are going and putting pressure on. It's not as though they're going to just sit back and try and absorb pressure and then catch Man United on the break. That is a long afternoon if you're going to do that. So they are, being more aggressive, I would say, in the press. The issue, we spoke about Ben Johnson and why he's in the team. The issue that they might have is Bruno Fernandes just peels into that left-hand channel. Marcus Rashford then comes inside. It's given Sofal a problem. It's given Ben Johnson a problem, because then if Man United get it right, Marcus Rashford's on a 1v1 with Kurt Zouma. So although that they've set up and they've looked at the patterns and Luke Shaw making the overlap and runs, they have to be wary of Bruno Fernandes and the kind of freedom that he plays with.
Bit of space for West Ham to attack. Emerson's going to take that, driving towards the Manchester United box, finds Bowen, and Bowen no power on the shot. Whether it was a cross or a shot, I'm not sure. Just putting it into an area towards the 6-yard box. Emerson had continued his run, but the ball just rolls harmlessly into the gloves of Onana.
Yeah, but it's a good break. Emerson bursting forward, joining in the attack. He plays that straight pass. Jared Bowen is making the run from centre. He just allows the ball to roll across his body. I think he's trying to flick it back into the path at Emerson. Martinez is tight to him and into the hands of Onana. No problem really for Man United in the end, but it's showing you that West Ham, they're going to push their fullbacks on, they're going to go and try and attack. And when you've got a player of Jared Bowen's quality, you want to get him on the ball in and around the box.
17th visit as a manager in the Premier League for David Moyes, taking on Manchester United. Has never beaten them here at Old Trafford in the league. 4 draws and 12 defeats. Kobbie Mainoo made himself a real hero, if he wasn't already, with that late winner on Thursday night at Molineux. Spoke so well after the game as well for an 18-year-old starting in this Manchester United midfield. They're in the bright red shirts, the white shorts and the black socks, and they're attacking the east stand away to our right. And Bruno Fernandes has come deep to pick up possession, turns, curls a pass to Dalot. Dalot across to Casemiro. Casemiro trotting forward, finds Mainoo. The ball just gets away from him. Can't get it to Garnacho. West Ham will try and turn it into a counter. Nice bit of skill from Kudus. Gets away from Casemiro. Curling ball with the left foot. Doesn't beat Luke Shaw. Shaw comes chasing back and plays back to his goalkeeper, Onana. So 8 minutes in. Manchester United 0, West Ham 0. Bournemouth with an early lead at home against Nottingham Forest. A Sinistera goal. Chelsea 0. Wolves 0. Here's Dalot. Dalot plays across the halfway line. James McFadden sitting alongside me, who played in teams at this stadium under the stewardship of David Moyes. as Fernandez plays back to Mainu. Mainu opens it up for Manchester United. This time does find Garnacho. He's got Emerson backpedaling. Emerson does well. Tackles Garnacho. Garnacho grabs his shirt, gets a handful. West Ham able to play out. Then Mainu got in the way of Emerson. Emerson slings him to the floor. Referee's quite happy for the game to continue. That's Andy Madley, man in the middle, all in black, with the whistle this afternoon. And here's Areola. Pinpoint pass out to the right, brilliantly controlled by Sofal, and he starts to get away from Rashford, who goes chasing back for Manchester United, and the ball goes out for a throw into West Ham, and they take that quickly. That's Sofal to Johnson. Then the ball forward from Sofal will be intercepted by Martinez in front of Bowen, and Martinez plays across here to Casemiro. Ball forward to Dalot, pokes a pass that's intercepted by Emerson. Emerson into Ward-Prowse, lays it off to Edson Alvarez. Alvarez encouraged to bring it forward. Space there inside the Manchester United half. Rolls a gentle pass to Souček. Souček goes out to his fellow Czech Sofal. Sofal pushes a ball down the right. Ben Johnson's out there, and that goes behind for a corner to West Ham. West Ham's women in action against Arsenal in the WSL. Here's Sohail Sahi.
And they're doing very well, Alistair. 10 minutes to play. They're leading Arsenal by 2-1. Arsenal are pouring forward. Alessio Russo has missed 2 good chances. What a result this will be at the top and the bottom of the WSL. West Ham 2, Arsenal 1.
Chelsea, the leaders in action tonight. Kick-off at 6:45. Commentary on that one against Everton on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Highlights of the WSL in the Women's Football Show this evening, which follows Match of the Day 2. So Match of the Day 2 is 10:30. The Women's Football Show starts at 11:45 on BBC One. Set piece for West Ham. James Ward-Prowse, an away swinger into the near post. Oh, brilliant save from Onana. Agard got the first header. Then it was directed towards the far corner, and Onana sprung to his left and managed to palm it away. James McFadden.
Yeah, I wonder if it took a deflection as well. I think it did, which makes it an even more impressive save from Onana. It's a great delivery in, outswinger from James Ward-Prowse, just begging to be attacked. Agard duly takes that opportunity. It's actually Souček that gets in front of Agard. I thought it was Agard that gets up, and then it takes a slight deflection. Casemiro, and Onana dives to his left hand side. Reaction save. He's got about 5 yards in front of him, that deflection. It's a tremendous save. But West Ham showing a threat from set plays.
Brilliant save by Andre Onana. Might have been credited as an Alvarez goal had it gone in. You're right, it was Souček who won the flick on, not Agard. And Alvarez was there sort of 4 yards out. The ball hit his chest, and it had enough power on it to beat Onana. Reaction superb from the Cameroon international. And
it was good play leading up to West Ham getting the corner, because the temptation would have been to hit that diagonal pass into Johnson, who was further advanced, but it was patient. The work at Souček goes to Sofal, and then they get the ball to Johnson, who gets the block cross, and then they get the corner from it. So it's nice patient play as well.
Good start for West Ham. They've got another free kick here, wide on the left from deep. Ward-Prowse curls it in. Bruno Fernandes jumps, the ball hits him. Fernandes runs to the loose ball, plays it back to Casemiro, just floats a pass down the inside right channel. Garnacho's got to be careful not to lose it there. He's fouled by Souček. West Ham were quickly onto him there because they thought they could win it back and turn it into an attacking opportunity. But Garnacho caught by Souček. Back to Bournemouth, Henry Moran.
12 minutes gone, Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 0. There was a little bit of question mark as to who got the final touch on the goal. Sinisterra's header at the near post just touched in at the back post by Justin Kluivert. His goal, Bournemouth lead by a goal to 0.
James, just talking about your experiences of playing at Old Trafford, because I was asking before the game, you said to me that David Moyes, maybe just once, said to you, well played after a game here. Is that right?
Yeah. I've played here a few times, not too much success. I scored in a 1-1 draw here, and then in my second spell I played in the 4-each game as well, and I think it was the one and only time that David Moyes says to me, well done, after a game. I come on as a sub, I was only on for about half an hour, but one and only time he says well done without a but after it, so I'll take that.
Hard taskmaster, the West Ham boss. Hands in pockets, coat open, breeze blowing at Old Trafford here. Manchester United 0, West Ham 0. Heading back to Leopardstown shortly for more racing. Ladbrokes Dublin chase. So we're joining John Hunt for commentary on that one. Manchester United, meanwhile, continue to build up play. Hoyland's first touch, I think, 1-2 with Mainu, then Hoyland again. Garnacho's first time cross hits Emerson. Manchester United fans in front of us appeal for handball. Another cross comes in. Hoyland's flick on. Sofal gets a header on it. Agard, awkward for him, heads the ball straight up in the air. Garnacho wins another header, and West Ham clear. Right, let's take you to Leopardstown. Here's John Hunt.
Two fences left to take here in the Dublin Chase, Ali. This a dry run for the champion chase at Cheltenham in 6 weeks' time, and the favourite El Fabiolo has just jumped to the front there, and now they've just got one to jump in the home straight. So El Fabiolo leading from Gentleman de May and Dino Blue, who looks the chief threat now. Captain Guinness is a distant fourth as they now round the home turn, approaching this, the final fence. In fact, they're bypassing this again because of the low sun, which is considered an unnecessary hazard. So now El Fabiolo just has to keep on galloping. El Fabiolo heading up now with 100 yards left to go. In second place is Dino Blue. Captain Guinness is getting third now ahead of Gentleman de May, and it's El Fabiolo who is now approaching the winning line, and he's 8 lengths clear. So the 7th Grade 1 race then of the weekend, all 7 have gone to Willie Mullins, as it's El Fabiolo who books his ticket for the Cheltenham Festival.
John, you'll be pleased to hear Alphonse Areola in good form. Flying save to his left-hand side. Bruno Fernandes with a real dipper from long range, and Areola was tested there, James McFadden.
And it was a full stretch as well. There's a corner that comes to Bruno on the edge of the box. He just opens up and tries to whip it into that far post. He can't just quite get it right into the corner, but Areola's at full stretch to keep that ball out.
Corner taken short. Fernandes to Mainu, then Fernandes again. Bobbles a pass to Garnacho, edge of the area, played across to Dallo, low effort straight at the goalkeeper, and that's an easy save for Areola. While we were with John Hunt, Areola had to come off his line quickly. Marcus Rashford went for a little dribble, cleverly worked his way past a couple of defenders. Kurt Zouma came in with a late challenge, then Zouma's momentum took him into Areola, and he took a slight blow to the side of the head and his right shoulder, but he's picked himself up and he's okay. So 15 minutes have flown by in the first half. 5 Live and BBC Sounds, back-to-back Premier League commentaries here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, West Ham 0. Over on Sports Extra, Chelsea and Wolves goalless. And commentary online this afternoon, Bournemouth leading Nottingham Forest by a goal to 0. Manchester United come again. Hoyland collects the ball wide on the left, is allowed to bring that into the West Ham penalty area, floated across to the far post, no one there in a red shirt. Bruno Fernandes has made a run into the middle. Emerson is able to bring it away down the left for West Ham. Fernandes comes across to cover him, played back to Aguerd. I think West Ham fans will be delighted to have him back in the heart of their defence. Mohamed Kudus as well, very important player for them, as Alvarez curls a pass out to the right. It's behind Sofal, so he has to come running back, and the move just loses a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, just on that Hoyland cross there, he's making his way into the box, and he doesn't have the option, but he's not rushed either. He's got his head up, he tries to clip it to the back post when no one's there.
Ben Johnson, right-footed cross first time. Kudus is going to chase that. Dallo's there first, plays back to Onana. Ben Johnson's got in some decent attacking positions down the right, and then Onana just tries to chip a ball to Dallo on the right and slightly overhits it, and it goes out for a throw.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about Ben Johnson and being in there, you know, to be more defensive minded, but that doesn't mean that he can't go and attack. He is an attacking fullback after all, and he'll be loving the fact that he doesn't have to run all the way back as well.
Sofal on the right, another cross comes in. Ward-Prowse doesn't get there, chested down. Sojak just wide. Onana had that covered, threw himself to his right, took a deflection as well. It's a corner for West Ham. Let's quickly go to Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
Chelsea 0, Wolves 0. Wolves have been the better side. Look assured, they had that Neto chance saved by Petrovic, and for Chelsea, Cole Palmer cutting in from the right hand side. His shot deflected wide. Chelsea 0, Wolves 0.
Commentary continues on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Hammer blow for Wolves, of course, on Thursday night, while Manchester United fans were celebrating the Mainu goal. It was only a couple of minutes after Wolves have been celebrating the late Pedro Neto equaliser. So still 0-0 between Chelsea and Wolves. Corner for West Ham in front of the giant Stretford end, away to our left with all the familiar banners strewn across it as Ward-Prowse delivers with his right foot in towards the far post. Danger again for Manchester United. Here's Kudus, left-footed drive into a hole, clutch of legs there, blocked. Ball falls for Garnacho. Kudus was caught after he'd hit the shot, and West Ham are going to get a free kick in a central position right on the edge of the D. Yeah,
it comes to Kudus. He does well to work on his left foot and get the shot away, and the ball rebounds straight back to him. He's on the ground, he gets back up, makes sure he gets the first contact. He steps on the ball and turns his back to almost protect it and do a little spin. I think it's Martinez that gets out to him as quick as he can and pulls him down. I mean, he's complaining, but he runs right through the back of him. It's really intelligent play from Kudus to make sure he gets the ball, rolls it in front of him, turns his back, protects the ball. Martinez comes straight through the back, This is a huge opportunity for James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, James Ward-Prowse will fancy this. Ball tucked under his left arm. Goal at Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
Chelsea 1, Wolves 0. No surprise, the goal scorer, Cole Palmer again. Caicedo played it to him on the right of the area, and he tugged it into the bottom left-hand corner. 10th league goal of the season. Chelsea 1, Wolves 0.
Yeah, if you don't have Cole Palmer in your fantasy football team, I think you need to have a long, hard look at yourself. I know that Chris Sutton doesn't. So he might be disappointed with that news. Chelsea 1 up, Bournemouth 1 up against Nottingham Forest, although Chris actually captained Ollie Watkins yesterday, which served him very well, to the tune of 36 points. Fantasy 606 podcast available on BBC Sounds, not just about fantasy football this week, because we had Paul from The Traitors join us. So if you're a fan of the BBC show The Traitors and you like your fantasy football, this week's Fantasy 606 podcast, the one for you. This is taking a long time to set up. Manchester United will be concerned. Ward-Prowse standing to the left of the ball. Onana bouncing on his toes just off his goal line. Garnacho down as the draft excluder behind the wall. Big build up to this one. Whistles from the United fans. Ward-Prowse hit that well, but it hits the top of the wall. That gets a massive cheer from the home fans. Rashford comes sprinting out to try and win the loose ball. Zuma heads it forward, then Emerson on the half volley knocks it into the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. Martinez clears, but West Ham seeing plenty of the ball in this first half so far. Here's Ward-Prowse again, inside right channel, 10 yards inside the Manchester United half. Alvarez plays down the right. Jared Bowen is out on the right wing at the moment. Another ball out to the right, in it comes, laid off to Bowen, edge of the area, 25 yards out, covered by Martinez, so he comes across to Emerson. Emerson's side foot to Kudus. Kudus full of tricks and trouble for West Ham. Takes on two Manchester United defenders, beats them, then gives the ball away to Dalot. Dalot flicks it forward to Casemiro, back to Mainu. Mainu, oh, that's good, that's clever, disguises the pass, then releases a really good ball to Garnacho, who knocks it straight into the legs of Emerson. Manchester United do get the throw. Another goal at Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
The lead didn't last long. Chelsea 1, Wolves 1. Matthias Cunha on the left of the penalty area. His shot took a big deflection. Wrong-footed Petrovic, and in it went. Chelsea 1, Wolves 1.
Throw-in for Manchester United has been taken on the right. 20 minutes gone in the first half. Manchester United 0, West Ham 0. Good saves made by both keepers so far. Onana with the reflex save from close range, and Areola from the Bruno Fernandes dipping effort from 25 yards. It's setting up nicely at the moment, I think, James.
Yeah, it is. Very even contest, as you said. Both keepers been tested. And West Ham seen a lot more of the ball than we probably anticipated before the game. And you just mentioned Mainu there. As the ball's laid back to him, the temptation is to hit it first time, but he knows that he's not set to hit it, so he doesn't force it. He takes a touch, he takes another touch, drives into space, plays a brilliant ball to Garnacho, who for me takes a poor touch. He kills the momentum by taking the touch. It takes him back the way, allowing Emerson to get back into him, and then tries to roll the ball through his legs instead of taking that first touch forward. It doesn't have to be a perfect first touch. As long as it goes forward, he's running towards goal. Emerson is so far behind him, 2 or 3 yards, that he's got a massive start on him. He can go and then mount an attack, but it comes from the composure of Kobbie Mainu in the middle of the park.
Midway through the first half, Manchester United 0, West Ham 0. Both managers have made their way up that little incline, steep incline, just short of the pitch here in front of the technical areas, and the dugout's a long way back, actually, set back behind the brick walls here at Old Trafford. But both managers right on the edge of the action here, on the edge of their seats, as Fernandes plays back to Onana. Onana just outside his penalty area, gives it to Casemiro, who's right beside him. Walking pace, Lisandro Martinez looks up, sees Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes quickly forward to Rashford. Rashford slides a pass through to Højlund. Zuma has it covered, slides in, clean tackle, wins the ball. Runs to Sofal. Sofal takes one touch and then passes up the right-hand touchline towards Bowen. Awkward one for Bowen to control. Gets it back to Alvarez, who flicks it to his right. And then Bowen has to battle with Martinez for the ball. Martinez then crosses in for Manchester United. Oh, Casemiro does well to win that. Falls to Højlund. Højlund drags it onto his right foot and scores a brilliant goal for Manchester United. He really has found his form. Look at the celebration as well. Lifts the left leg in the air and starts playing a bit of air guitar in front of the Manchester United fans. The Danish rock star has his goal, and Manchester United lead West Ham by a goal to 0.
Oh, it's a sensational goal. I'm not sure about the celebration, I have to say, but Casemiro does brilliant to anticipate the ball dropping into midfield. He just makes sure there's only one winner, and it comes to the feet of Hoyland. And it looks like he opens up he's on his left foot. It looks like he's going to take the shot first time, but as you say, it probably shows the confidence that he has. He just fakes it, drags it onto his right foot. Zuma and De Gea both go for the first shot. They buy the fake, and when it comes on his right foot, it is such a clean strike. Areola's got absolutely no chance. He just powers it with the laces, back across goal. Areola dives, it's too late, there's no point. It hits the back of the net. It's a tremendous goal from Rasmus Højlund.
4 goals in his last 4 Premier League games against Aston Villa, Tottenham, Wolves, and now West Ham, enjoying himself playing up front for Manchester United. Check out the goal celebration tonight, match of the day too. BBC One at half-10, because that just tells you the kind of mood he's in, James. Yeah, of course, it shows you the confidence. I think you could always see that he had quality. It wasn't just about, pace and power and being that poacher. You could see that he's got quality. You see it building over the weeks through his nice little layoffs and the assists that he's getting as well. His all-round play is very good. But I was just going to make the point before, Man United managed to get themselves in front. Jared Bowen, when West Ham are playing this counter-attack, being through the middle, it's fine because the balls are getting in behind, or it's coming to feet where they can go and take people on. But it's a different game when you have to be that hold-up player as a striker. The ball came up, he didn't manage to get it under control. It goes back to Man United. It comes up again. He can't quite get it under control because he's not used to playing with his back to goal. If the ball's in front and he's making those runs, it's fine. But when it's coming up, West Ham aren't able to get that control because he's not an out-and-out striker that's used to holding the ball up and bringing others into play. Manchester United in front. Scoring goals hasn't been the problem recently. 4 against Newport, 4 against Wolves. Keeping the ball out of the net has been more of a problem, but they lead 1-0. Ben Johnson's won West Ham a free kick down by the byline on the right. Ward-Prowse cuts it back to Johnson, hits it hard, and racing out is Martinez with his hands behind his back, makes the block for Manchester United, and that'll be another corner for West Ham. Delivery, as you'd expect so far this afternoon, has been on point from James Ward-Prowse. He's going to take this corner from the right, just bounces the ball twice, places it down very precisely on the edge of the quadrant, right under the nose of the assistant referee. Then it's the away swinger with the right foot. Header flicked away at the far post. I think Kurt Zuma's down for West Ham, flat on his back inside the Manchester United penalty area. Play continues at the moment, and Kudus is trying to get past Mainu on the edge of the box. Kudus plays across to Ben Johnson, hits it from 25 yards, and Onana straight at him, but it was swerving, palms it away with both hands, and the ball runs away to the right, and Højlund is there for Manchester United and plays back to Dalot. Zuma is still down here on his knees, seems to be holding his face. Souček heads the ball out of play. Referee stops the game. WSL, West Ham, Arsenal. Sohail Sahi.
Full time, Alistair. West Ham 2, Arsenal 1. A huge 3 points for West Ham as they ease away from the relegation zone, and a dagger to Arsenal's title hopes. A goal down at the break. West Ham scored twice in the space of 9 minutes to go ahead, and they stayed ahead. Full time, West Ham 2, Arsenal 1.
Yeah, a bit of a turn up for the books in the WSL. So Arsenal remain on 28 points. Leaders Chelsea on 31. Chelsea-Everton tonight is the commentary on Sports Extra at 6:45. Manchester United's women in action today as well. They've already won. They beat Brighton by 2-0. Manchester City-Leicester into the second half in the WSL is currently 0-0. Liverpool-Tottenham 0-0 in the first half. Different kick-off times for every single game in the WSL on a Sunday. Rashford moving at speed, beats Sofal. Bruno Fernandes right there, decides not to play it to him, looks for a pass across to the right, which is blocked. What have you made of what we've seen of Rashford so far this afternoon, James?
Yeah, I mean, he's holding his position high in that left-hand side, and when he's not been on the ball a great deal, but when he has, he's got that purpose. He's wanting to go and take Sofal on, whether it's take him down the line more often than not, come inside. But he looks like he's wanting to make things happen there. On that occasion the ball is coming out. Bruno Fernandes probably should take it, but Marcus Rashford can see what's in front of him. He's trying that switch of play. Doesn't quite come off, but it's probably the right idea. But there's definitely a sense of purpose about Marcus Rashford since that well publicised incident a couple of weeks ago.
Goals flying in the Premier League this weekend. 26 of them in the games yesterday. Today we've got Bournemouth 1 up on Nottingham Forest, Chelsea 1, Wolves 1, and here Manchester United leading West Ham by 1-0. Onana inside his own penalty area, the Manchester United keeper. Forward to Casemiro, out it comes to Mainu. Mainu, who wears number 37 for United. Hopeful ball into midfield, though, is intercepted by Souček. Forward to Ward-Prowse, outside of his right foot. Stabs it to Ben Johnson. Johnson tripped, was he, by Martinez? No, Johnson picks himself up straight away. Martinez must have got the ball, and then Johnson fell. So United have it. Martinez in the left-back position. Diagonal pass to Mainu. Mainu quite happy to dribble out from the back. Not only that, picks his pass and finds Bruno Fernandes, who immediately starts stomping forward down the left. Checks back, right-footed ball, rolls it back to Luke Shaw. It slows down, and Manchester United will recycle and go again. Here's Harry Maguire. Cross to Martinez. Martinez forward to Casemiro. Back to Martinez. No pressure on the ball here, so Martinez just waiting for Bowen to come towards him, which he does. Then he plays it across to Maguire. Maguire thinks about the diagonal with the right foot, but goes sideways to Dalot. Mainu, first time ball with his right foot, was looking for the run of Garnacho in behind. Garnacho had come spinning towards him, cleared by West Ham. Mainu heads it, then Souček nods it forward to the halfway line. Casemiro underneath it. Dalot's there, and he plays back to his goalkeeper Ananu, who's closed down by Bowen. Maguire gets into position for him over on the right. Maguire's long ball down the right is volleyed away by Aged. First time ball round the corner from Souček. Martinez sort of leaned into that and played it with his shoulder, but it's worked out well for Manchester United. Fans excited here because Bruno Fernandes is steaming forward again. Plays wide left to Luke Shaw. Shaw back to Fernandes. Edge of the penalty area, looking for Garnacho. Might come back to Casemiro. Quick ball to Højlund, looks for the back heel inside the box. That's intercepted, and West Ham cleared. Dalot wins that one, but Emerson is there, chips it away, and Lisandro Martinez is able to control that and play back into his own half. James McFadden.
It's a brilliant first time pass from Casemiro. Bruno Fernandes starts on the left hand side. The pass is cut out when it comes back to Casemiro. First time pass, perfect weight into the path of Rasmus Højlund. I think that I expected him to just let it roll across his body again, maybe turn and get that first time shot away. Tries a little back heel that doesn't come off, but it's all about the pass from Casemiro.
Kudus' pass to the right, chested down by Bowen. Bowen speeds into the Manchester United penalty area, across to the far post. Kudus' header, and Onana dives and saves. Defender behind him as well, Martinez, had he missed it, to clear that ball off the line. Back to Bournemouth, Henry Moran.
Bournemouth 1, Forest 0, almost an equaliser though. Ryan Yates forcing a good low save from Neto in the Bournemouth goal. Bournemouth 1, Forest 0.
And what about events at Stamford Bridge in the first half? John Southall.
Chelsea 1, Wolves 1, chance apiece. Sterling's balloon one over the bar for Chelsea, and Cunha just a moment ago with a header over the top. Chelsea 1, Wolves 1.
Finished Middlesbrough 1, Sunderland 1 in the Championship. Tomorrow night, Monday Night Club. Kelly Cates in charge of that one. Chris Sutton, Rory Smith and Shay Given. Updates of Brentford, Manchester City during the show. Then we're into FA Cup replays on 5 Live and Sports Extra during the week. So Tuesday night, full commentary of Plymouth Leeds. The winner of that one will meet the winners of Villa Chelsea. That's our commentary on 5 Live on Wednesday night. On Tuesday we've got Southampton Watford on Sports Extra, winners of that away to Liverpool, and then Manchester United here will meet the winners of Nottingham Forest against Bristol City, which is a Sports Extra commentary on Wednesday night. We've still got Arsenal Liverpool to come 4:30 this afternoon. Very much looking forward to that one in the company of John Murray and Matt Upson, which I think will make our journeys home, our long journeys home, James. We're going in totally opposite directions, but they'll make it far more pleasurable, I think, for the pair of us.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, quite long journeys.
Yes.
Just as well, I don't have to drop you off, Ali, as well, on the way home.
Here's Ward-Prowse playing across the halfway line to Edson Alvarez. James and I were both doing this sort of various elements of childcare yesterday, which meant we both arrived today after long journeys looking rather bleary-eyed. Here's Kudus. Kudus dribbling at Manchester United defenders. Pacey cross in right across the face of goal. Luke Shaw's got it covered. He runs it out towards the left-hand touchline. Casemiro's right there for him. Casemiro, corner of the Manchester United penalty area in his black cotton gloves, up towards Højlund. Højlund leaps, flicks the header on. No one there to collect it for Manchester United, so Aged steps forward with his jet black hair. Tall figure across to Emerson. Ward-Prowse drops deep. Little pass to Alvarez. Forward here to Souček. Good tackle by Maguire on Souček. Manchester United counter is on the cards. Fernandes scoops a pass to Garnacho with his bright white hair. Cross blocked at close range by Aged. Here's the Mexican Alvarez for West Ham to Kudus. Kudus looking to knock his pass through the legs of Dalot. Dalot gets a leg on it, and it's out for a throw into the visitors.
Yeah, it's a missed chance again. I think excellent from Harry Maguire to step in and win the ball. When it comes to Garnacho, he's got to realise he's up against the centre-back. He's 1v1. Go and take him on, go and force him back the way, and then create that opening to get your cross in. I know that there's an urgency about Man United when they're attacking. They want to get the ball forward, they want to do things quickly, but I think that Garnacho's got to realise that he's 1v1 against a centre-back.
Højlund on the turn, Marcus Rashford just trying to stay onside, jumps over that pass. Luke Shaw was making the run up the inside left channel. Didn't work out for Manchester United. Areola is able to clear. The wind's just picking up again inside the stadium. Dalot wins it back for United inside the West Ham half. Cross to Mainu. Mainu's just short of the West Ham penalty area on the right in front of our commentary position. United slow it down again. Dalot to Garnacho. Garnacho back to Casemiro. Had to stretch there to control the ball, but did so. Looks to his right, nothing on. Rolls it to his left. Bruno Fernandes flicks it forward to Højlund. He couldn't control that one. Ben Johnson plays out up the middle of the pitch to Bowen. Bowen gets a shove from Maguire, but here come West Ham with Edson Alvarez, and Manchester United having to get back, and Mainu is not catching Alvarez here. Up to the edge of the United box. Gives it to Kudus. Kudus run on the outside from Emerson. Sliding challenge by Martinez. The ball hits Martinez and goes out for the West Ham throw on the left.
It's a good break from West Ham. Starts from Jared Bowen being able to hold the ball up, bring his teammates into play, and it looks like they're going to go and use a bit of pace in the counter. It kind of slows down a little bit, and then by that point Man United recovered and got everybody back behind the ball and made it more difficult. But promising again for West Ham.
Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Chelsea 1, Wolves 1. Both available as commentaries this afternoon. So choice of listening as always. Chelsea Wolves over on Sports Extra. Bournemouth Forest is available via the BBC Sports website and app, and here on 5 Live, also available on the BBC Sounds app, is Manchester United West Ham. Deep swinging hanging cross from Ben Johnson. Kudus just gives Dalot a little nudge as they chase that to knock him off stride, and Kudus has it for West Ham. Passes back to Emerson, to Alvarez. In the middle of the Manchester United half, Kurt Zouma with the white socks pulled up over his knees, shirt untucked, runs to his right, plays the ball to Sofal. Sofal back to Zouma, and Manchester United just forcing West Ham back and away from their goal. Here comes Aguerd passing through the lines to Ward-Prowse. His layoff will be kept in by Emerson wide on the left. Back to Ward-Prowse, gets it onto that right foot, curls the ball in. Martinez heads it away, bounces in front of Højlund, beaten to it by Edson Alvarez. He lays it back to Ward-Prowse again, about 35 yards from the Manchester United goal. Plays the 1-2 with Emerson. Kudus involved. Emerson again, back to Ward-Prowse, who's looking for that crossing opportunity. Runners coming towards him, passes straight across the Manchester United half to Alvarez, onto Zouma, and Sofal is hugging the touchline on the right. Rashford back there doing the defending, so Sofal comes back to Zouma, and again West Ham come all the way back to the halfway line. Bruno Fernandes comes sprinting into view. West Ham pass it around him, and here's Sofal, chance to get another cross in, decides to take Rashford on, beats him. Play to Souček just running away from goal. Casemiro breathing down his neck. West Ham have given it away. Here's Højlund. Rashford's tripped off the ball by Thomas Souček, who was worried about him getting away, and Souček gets the yellow card.
Yeah, he was right to be worried because he was definitely getting away from him. Marcus Rashford just sprinting as soon as that ball comes forward to Højlund, just sprinting off the back of Souček, pulls him back. I mean, he was never going to catch him, but I'm not so sure he had to make that decision. It's always a yellow card, always going to be. I don't know if it's frustration that Souček's the one that lost the ball and he's trying to get back in. He just tugs the shirt of Marcus Rashford, and it's a yellow card. And now he has to be careful getting into challenges, and especially these aerial ones. We see it so often nowadays that players can be booking in for aerial challenges, so it's one he's going to have to be careful with from now on.
8 minutes remaining in the first half. Manchester United 1, West Ham 0. Manchester United starting the day a point behind West Ham. If they win, they obviously move a couple of points above them. Crucially, in terms of the race for Champions League football, 5th place might be good enough for that this season. We think it will. They'll be 6 points behind Tottenham, having played precisely the same number of games, but still 15 games to go in the season. Manchester United move breaks down. They get the ball back though, and Bruno Fernandes holds both palms out and just says, slow it down, let's start again. And Casemiro takes on that mantle. Pass out to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw back to Casemiro. Maguire gives it back to the Brazilian again. Casemiro with his head up, down the line to Shaw. Rashford just dances away from the challenge of Sofal, thinking about teeing himself up for a shot here. Maybe the 1-2 edge of the box. Rashford goes down. No free kick, says Andy Madley. Had a clear view of that, and now Mohamed Kudus comes sprinting out of his half of the ball. Maguire flying in with a thundering challenge. Good challenge. Then the ball over the top, looking for Garnacho, intercepted by Aguerd, and it's played out to Sofal, and it's suddenly opening up for West Ham, and Sofal has made 30 yards, crosses the halfway line. Ward-Prowse pops up wide on the right, into the feet of Ben Johnson, back to Ward-Prowse. Now Bowen. Bowen's pass wide to Sofal. Back it comes to Souček. Souček strokes a pass across the Manchester United half to Alvarez. Aguerd, very deliberate with his left-footed ball out to Emerson. Emerson comes running across the Manchester United half. Bowen takes it off him, lays it off to Souček. And West Ham now have the ball wide on the right with Sofal. Manchester United seem to have it covered at the moment. Ward-Prowse into Alvarez. Højlund back trying to win it. Alvarez bumps him off the ball. Højlund goes down holding his face. Play continues. Sofal's cross in. Martinez there at the near post. Powerfully heads it away. Højlund's okay. Picks himself up. Throw in for West Ham.
That's a good spell for West Ham. You know, they're patient in their build-up. The frustration for David Moyes in that last one is Sofal hits the first man. He's got the target of Souček at the back post, and he hits the first man. It's Sandro Martinez, who's obviously not the biggest, not the tallest. I think he just has to flip that to the back post. Look, you're asking him to go and beat Harry Maguire. It's a great contest, that Souček against Harry Maguire, but it allows Souček the momentum to go and attack it. It has to be better, especially when they're so patient at build-up. We're expecting this counter-attacking football from West Ham. They're actually really patient, work it well into the wide areas. When it gets there, the ball in has to be better.
Another cross from Sofal has hit the first man, but it's worked out well for West Ham because it's come straight out for a corner, which James Ward-Prowse is waiting to take. Here he comes with his right foot. Real spin and pace on the ball. Near post header from Alvarez, glanced across the face of goal. Rashford there first for Manchester United, clears only as far as Emerson, who acrobatically tries to keep the ball in play. Does so with his left foot, cleared by Manchester United, out for a throw-in to West Ham, and they throw back towards the halfway line. John Southall at Stamford Bridge.
4 minutes to half-time. Chelsea 1, Wolves 1. The game's just dipped into a bit of a lull here. Gusto did really well down the right for Chelsea, dragged the ball back, but no takers. Chelsea 1, Wolves 1.
Commentary of that one over on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Manchester United leading West Ham by 1-0. We're into the last 5 minutes of the first half here. West Ham have the ball inside their own half. Next break in play will take you back to Bournemouth. Here's Aguerd. Aguerd left-footed pass comes rolling towards Kudus. Dalot in front of him. Kudus brings it on the inside, pokes a ball with the toe of his left boot to Alvarez. Forward to Bowen. Bowen takes it on, hits the shot with his right foot, blocked by Martinez. The ball spins away upfield. Alvarez is there first, finds Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse zipping across the Manchester United half. Ben Johnson in space, out wide to Bowen on the right. Bowen inside the penalty area, stretching, hits a cross into the shins of Casemiro, and the ball goes out for another throw-in to West Ham.
Yeah, they're managing to keep some sustained pressure, West Ham. You know, as I said, they're moving the ball well. They're trying to work it into these wide areas. Bowen, on this occasion, is the one that finds himself out on the right-hand side. But it's really patient from West Ham, something I don't think we expected to see.
Low skidding throw from Sofal, finds Aguerd. Aguerd's cross looks overhit. It is. Anana is able to leap and catch and immediately drill the ball downfield with his right foot. What a pass this could be. Garnacho up against Emerson. Emerson just leans over him and heads it back. And here's Areola, who passes out to Emerson again. Emerson plays the ball down the left-hand side to Ward-Prowse, opening up towards the end of the first half here. Ward-Prowse finds Alvarez. Back to Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse starts to bring it forward. Emerson in space on the left. 3 minutes remaining in the first half in front of a packed Old Trafford. Manchester United leading West Ham 1-0. Another goal at Chelsea. John Southall.
Wolves are ahead. Chelsea 1, Wolves 2. Right on half-time. 8 Nori back in the side, running onto a ball 8 yards out. Took another deflection, and in it went. Chelsea 1, Wolves 2.
Zuma plays to his right-hand side. Here's Souček. Commentary on Chelsea Wolves is on Radio 5 Sports Extra this afternoon. West Ham working it around at the back. Comes across to Aguerd. Aguerd into the Manchester United half, keeps driving forward, wants to see the run from Emerson on the left. Emerson makes the run, controls the ball, cushions a pass to Kudus, back to Emerson, running across the face of the Manchester United penalty area and played to Ward-Prowse. Højlund is now chasing him. Ward-Prowse running diagonally from right to left, just lays it off to Sofal, and back we go again to Zuma. Zuma across to Aguerd. Aguerd looking to left and right. Now takes on Mainu himself, gets past Mainu, slides the pass forward to Emerson. Chance to get the cross in it comes. Diving header away. Ward-Prowse hits the shot, drags it well wide, and that'll be a goal kick for Manchester United. Will bring in Henry Moran at Bournemouth.
Bournemouth 1, Forest 0. Early goal from Kluivert. The difference, I should say, not many chances since then. Really quite a quiet afternoon on the south coast. Bournemouth 1, Forest 0.
Hearing Henry's voice reminds me of the cricket as well. Going into day 4 in the second test in India. England will be 67 for 1. They'll resume on. 332 needed. They're chasing 399. Test match special. TMS podcast. There for you on the BBC Sounds app to catch up with the day's play with Jonathan Agnew and co. It's been a good first half, this, James McFadden.
It has. It's just another occasion where West Ham work it really well into the wide area. This time it's down the left, and Emerson, it's another poor cross. You know, Harry Maguire's in the front post area, and fair enough if he's leaping to go and clear that ball, but he's actually stooping to head the ball clear. It's a great opportunity for West Ham to just put it into an area. You know you've got Souček in there. Ben Johnson's coming off that side as well. So you do have targets in there. Just clip it into an area. Make sure you miss that first man. Allow one of your teammates to go and attack it, because the build-up play has been really good. The last 5 or 10 minutes or so, West Ham have had a lot more of the ball, and they've worked it really well into wide areas. They just haven't been able to create that opportunity.
Coming up towards added time at the end of the first half here. Manchester United leading West Ham by 1-0. Scored brilliantly by Rasmus Højlund, but as James said at the time, it was Casemiro's work in winning the ball just outside the penalty area that set up the chance. But superbly taken, worked it onto his right foot, got round his man, and gave Areola absolutely no chance with the finish. Fizzed into the bottom corner. Onana plays across to Lisandro Martinez, back to Onana again. Just 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half as Onana clears with his left foot. Højlund battling with Zuma. Oh, it's good. Back heel to Fernandes. Garnacho makes the run. He's got to hold it because he was drifting into an offside position. Here he is. Flag stays down. Garnacho support on the outside. Højlund misses at the near post. Hit it with power. Angle was tight, but it goes behind for the goal kick. Another goal at Bournemouth, Henry Moran.
And it's an equaliser for Nottingham Forest. Beautiful finish. Callum Hudson-Odoi into the far corner, and Forest are level on the brink of half-time. Bournemouth 1, Forest 1.
Bournemouth 1, Forest 1. Chelsea 1, Wolves 1. Manchester United 1, West Ham 0, with Arsenal-Liverpool to come in full at half-4. Højlund is just buzzing at the moment, isn't he, James?
Yeah, he is. He does really well. He's under huge pressure from Kurt Zuma. He's running towards the touchline, and there's a nice little back heel. But not only that, he goes and follows it up. He's desperate to get back into the box. He might have the option of squaring that to Marcus Rashford, maybe. But we're speaking about a guy that's in confidence. No blame at all that he's taking a shot on there.
Half-time whistle blows. Manchester United lead by 1-0. It'll give you a chance, James, to wax lyrical again about the Højlund finish that has put Manchester United in front.
No, it's an incredible goal. It really is. Casemiro does brilliant to step in and win the ball, but from that point on, it's all about Rasmus Højlund. He takes a really good first touch. He opens his whole body up as if he's going to bend it, or certainly hit it with his left foot. Ødegaard and Zuma both by it. He just slides it onto his right foot. Little fake shot. And then it's such a controlled finish. Loads of power in it. It goes to the laces, back across Areola, who's at full stretch. I think he actually dives after the ball's hit the net. He's hit it with so much power and control. It's a brilliant goal from him, and it shows you the confidence that he's playing with at the minute.
Kobbie Mainoo, the 18-year-old, got the winner at Molineux on Thursday night. Today, Rasmus Højlund, the 20-year-old, has Manchester United in front. And he's growing into the role, and he's growing into that famous red Manchester United shirt. At half-time, Manchester United lead West Ham by 1-0.
James McFadden, just before the game I saw that Robin Van Persie is there today, just away somewhere to your left-hand side. I don't think it's a stretch to say that Højlund finish was Van Persie-esque.
Oh, without doubt. It's a great comparison, because it looks like he's going to open up and go for that bent shot towards the far post, but the little touch inside, just so much control about it. It's in the perfect weight inside to then hit it with his right foot, very much like Robin Van Persie. Maybe he knows he's here and he's just showing a little tribute to him.
Hell of a finish. Manchester United lead West Ham United by 1-0. We'll give you the other half times in the Premier League after the Irish champion hurdle. John Hunt.
Yes, this is the big race on the second day of the Dublin Racing Festival, and it's reaching its climax now. They're turning out of the back straight. 4 runners, 3 of them trained by Willie Mullins. Imperi Pass for that stable leads from hot favourite State Man, with Echoes in Rain in third place and Bob Ollinger the back marker as they race now to the second last flight of hurdles. Imperi Pass still leads. He hasn't looked massively comfortable though with the lead. His rider Daryl Jacob just has an anxious glance around. State Man's in second place and closing. Echoes in Rain and Bob Ollinger both trying to close on the outside as well. The sprint now is on to the final flight of hurdles. In fact, they are being waved round this flight of hurdles, even though it's now cloudy. It's causing some confusion for the jockeys. However, State Man's rider Paul Townend is wise to it, kicks on, and State Man now delivers an excellent turn of foot to come clear of Bob Ollinger and Imperi Pass. Echoes in Rain is back in fourth place, and State Man is now streaking clear to win his second Irish champion hurdle and complete an extraordinary weekend for trainer Willie Mullins, who has won all 8 of the Grade 1 races here at Leopardstown this Saturday and Sunday. It's State Man who now presumably will head to Cheltenham again, where Constitution Hill will once again stand in his way, but State Man far too good for the local rivals to win the Irish champion hurdle, giving Mullins an 8th win in this prestigious race.
Willie Mullins absolutely owns the Irish champion hurdle. The expected victory really then for State Man. Back in the Premier League, it's half-time at Stamford Bridge in that game between Chelsea and Wolves. John Southall.
Chelsea 1, Wolves 2. Terrific half this for Wolves. They've had to come from behind with 2 deflected goals. The opener from Cole Palmer. Who else for Chelsea? Caicedo laid it into his path on the right of the penalty area, and he casually stroked it into the bottom left-hand corner. 10th of the season in the league, 12 in total. The lead lasted 2 minutes 7 seconds. Cunha, who's equally as important for Wolves with the equaliser, his shot took a big deflection off Silva on its way in. Cunha has now been involved in 10 of the last 13 league goals for Wolves. That is an impressive record for him. Though right on half-time, Neto into 8-Nori, 10 yards out, another deflection, this time off to Sassi. In that went 2-1 to Wolves at half-time. They are good value for that. Chelsea, though, boos from the home fans. Wolves 2, Chelsea 1.
You'll be able to listen to second half commentary of that on 5 Sports Extra. We're still playing in the first half at the Vitality. Henry Moran.
We are deep in added time. It's Bournemouth 1, Forest 1. Justin Cliver nudging in Sinistera's flick on right on the line for the opener. That looked like giving the hosts a half-time lead, but a moment before the 45 was up, Callum Hudson-Odoi cut in on his right foot, bending the ball into the corner of the net. An injury followed that to Semenyo. He's okay, but that's why we've got this delay deep now into first half added time. Forest, good value for that equaliser. Decent game this. Bournemouth 1, Forest 1.
We have got more from Jimmy Anderson on the way. Manchester City, by the way, have scored 2 late goals against Leicester. 2 England players, Lauren Hemp and Chloe Kelly, with them. Into stoppage time there, Manchester City 2, Leicester 0. Earlier it finished West Ham 2, Arsenal 1, and Manchester United 2, Brighton 0. We'll have more reaction to that as well, and we'll take you to the Emirates for the first time today. Remember, Arsenal-Liverpool live on Premier League Sunday at 4:30. We will do all of that before second half commentary at Old Trafford. Now we'll get the news on 5 Live with Nick Hatfield.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Police are offering a £20,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of a man suspected of a chemical attack in South London. Abdul Shakur Azedi was last seen a few hours after the attack on Wednesday night. A woman known to him suffered injuries thought to be life-changing. A woman has died after being attacked by 2 dogs in Essex. A 39-year-old man has been arrested. Our correspondent Mark Ashdown has more details.
Police said they were called at 4 p.m. yesterday to Hillman Avenue in Jaywick. That's a small village just outside Clacton-on-Sea in Essex, on the east coast of England. They found a woman there with serious injuries. It appeared she'd been attacked by 2 dogs. Now, she was treated at the scene but died at the scene from her injuries. Police have not named her officially yet, but a BBC reporter on the ground in the area has spoken to the lady's daughter, and we can name her as 68-year-old Esther Martin, a local grandmother.
The Foreign Secretary Lord Cameron says the Houthis must stop what he calls their reckless attacks on ships in the Red Sea. His comments came after the UK and US launched fresh strikes against the group in Yemen. The mum of the murdered teenager, Brianna Jai, says she holds no hate for her daughter's killers. Scarlett Jenkinson and Eddie Ratcliffe, who are both 16, were jailed earlier this week. And the Grammy Awards take place this evening, celebrating the best of the music industry. Taylor Swift is favourite to win several of the big categories.
The drama.
They're having to be separated. They've both been shown the red card.
The entertainment. The superstars. Welcome to the Planet Premier League podcast. I'm Mark Chapman, and every week Cesc Fabregas, Nader Manua and myself talk all things Premier League.
They have this dynamism and this quality that they can play anywhere. They need to prove themselves in scoring more and more goals.
I think if they don't win the title this year, the season is a failure in the league.
Planet Premier League. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
And the half-time whistle has now gone at the Vitality. Henry Moran.
Yeah, Bournemouth 1, Forest 1. Justin Kluivert's opener cancelled out by Callum Hudson-Odoi's fine finish right before the break. Really good game this. Both sides will feel that they could be in front, and I suspect we'll get some more goals as well. Bournemouth 1, Forest 1.
England have been set a mammoth 399 to win the second test against India, which would be the highest successful run chase ever in India. They finished the day 67 for 1, losing Ben Duckett before the close. Let's hear from Jimmy Anderson, back in the team for the first time since the summer.
Been a bit of a shock to the system, not having played a test for 6 months and then bowling 35 overs in 3 days in these conditions is pretty challenging, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, it's an amazing feeling to be out there with this team and to actually contribute with wickets as well after a disappointing summer for me. So it's nice to be back out there amongst the wickets and doing what I love. So yeah, I think the body will be sore tomorrow, but completely worth it.
Is Ray on the new Nighthawk?
Oh, I think he showed that tonight. Yeah, he was itching to get out there. He wanted to, you know, he's telling the skipper walking off the field that he wanted to put his pads on. So he got the opportunity, and we saw in that last over, you know, he's not going to just block it out. He wants to score runs, and he's got a great opportunity tomorrow to show people what he can do. He's such a confident lad. He's so talented as well. So hopefully he can, you know, make a significant contribution tomorrow along with the rest of the guys.
It was his idea.
Well, I'm sure that it would have been put to him anyway at some point, but he was just absolutely itching to get out there. So it's great to see that confidence, especially from someone so young. But I think it also shows what sort of environment we've got in the dressing room. The fact that he feels comfortable enough to be able to go up to the captain and coach and say, I want to bat 3. So that's, yeah, it's just a real credit to him, and especially after he bowled 20 odd overs. I thought he bowled brilliantly as well, as did the other 2 spinners. I thought they were just fantastic throughout. So yeah, we've had to fight hard to get ourselves into this position. We have been behind the game a little bit, but we're still in with a chance of winning.
Look ahead to tomorrow then. You guys have made history over the past couple of years. I mean, you made history last week. Another chance to do it tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, you know, we won't probably look at it like that. I think we'll look at it as we're going to go out there and, you know, we try and take the scoreboard out of it and the result out of it and just play how we want to play, and I'm sure we'll do that. You know, seeing how all 3 guys tonight have played, we're going to try and do exactly the same. You know, we've got some absolute unbelievable quality in that dressing room, and they'll all come out here, and we'll, you know, we won't try and do it in 2 days. Even though we've got 180 overs to do it, we'll try and do it in 60 or 70, I'm sure. So hopefully we can entertain people along the way, whether we win or lose.
Jimmy Anderson with Stefan Schemmel. It sounded like an 18-wheeler sort of rocked up in the middle of that interview. You can get more reaction on the TMS podcast, which I'm told is going to be out very, very shortly indeed. There was a big shock in the Women's Super League earlier today. West Ham picking up their first ever win against Arsenal in the WSL era. They won 2-1. Here's captain Mackenzie Arnold.
Honestly, it's unbelievable. It's hard to put into words. I think, you know, on one half it's Arsenal, it's such a big team to beat, and on the other half you see our position on the table and how important that was to us. So yeah, unbelievable. I'm just so proud of the girls.
As goalkeeper behind that resolute defence, you know, how grateful are you of the effort and the intent and the tackles that they brought today?
Yeah, unreal. I got this one beside me and she just chucked her body everywhere. You got Minnie in there, all the defenders. Honestly, it's credit to the whole team, and yeah, I think we had it coming, and I think we deserve every part of this win, so it's good.
You've never beaten Arsenal in the Women's Super League. You had a big win last week as well. Is there something turning at this club?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I think it's a long time coming, and I think, the results they weren't really going our way, but we're still putting in the performances. So I think it just shows that when we can get the performance for 90 minutes, this is what comes from it. So.
And this will bring you so much belief then for the run into the end of the season.
Yeah, for sure. I think the belief has always been there. I think the results just obviously haven't come our way, but again, after this win, it's just unbelievable, and I'm just so proud of the girls.
Only one team gets relegated from the WSL with that win. West Ham are now 5 points clear of that spot. They're up to 9th. Elsewhere, Manchester City now top the WSL. Full-time whistle's just gone. Lauren Hemp and Chloe Kelly got the goals. They beat Leicester City by 2-0. They're on the same points as Chelsea. They're ahead on goal difference, but they've also played a game more. Elsewhere, Manchester United beat Brighton 2-0. It's Liverpool 0, Spurs 0 at half-time. Chelsea against Everton is the late kick-off. You can listen to it on 5 Sports Extra from 6:30. Once we're done at Old Trafford, we'll be taking you to the Emirates for Arsenal versus Liverpool in the Premier League. Correspondent John Murray is there. Good afternoon, John.
Yes, good afternoon, Steve. I must say there's a real big match feel about this game today. The first of the spectators are just coming into their seats, but I've just been downstairs in what is one of the bigger media rooms in the Premier League, and it's absolutely packed, and right up and down the touchline, all of the various broadcasters are there. 21 different foreign broadcasters are on site for this, I'm told. And in terms of the former players who are downstairs, you could build a very decent team out of them, I can tell you.
And rightly so, to have that much attention, because not only is it 2 title contenders, but also on paper, I'm going to use the word it should be really good.
It should, yeah. I was here just a few weeks ago when Liverpool came and won in the FA Cup, and there were quite strong teams that were picked that day. And of course, they drew at Anfield just before Christmas, the 1-1 draw, which was a very good game as well. And so, now we're in February, which speaks for itself. And Liverpool have got this 5-point lead at the top of the table over Manchester City, Arsenal and Aston Villa, who've all got 46 points, the chasers. But I can tell you, you've probably worked it out for yourself. If Arsenal lose this match today, to be 8 points behind Liverpool, that would look such a big gap. And we'll have the team news very shortly. There's a lot of talk going around that Gabriel Jesus might not be able to make it for Arsenal, and obviously for Liverpool, who are without Mo Salah again, the desperately sad news about young Connor Bradley's dad. Liverpool announced that his dad Joe died yesterday, and therefore the expectation is that he will not be involved at all, of course.
Of course. John, thank you so much. John Murray, our correspondent. Full commentary of Arsenal versus Liverpool with John and Matt Upson at 4:30. So we'll really start ramping up the build-up from 4 o'clock. Quick reminder of everything that you can listen to right now on Premier League Sunday. So if you go over to the BBC Sport website and app, you'll get second half commentary of Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1. On 5 Sports Extra, it'll be the second half of what is currently Chelsea 1, Wolves 2. Here on 5 Live, it's Manchester United 1, West Ham 0. Your commentary team, James McFadden and Ali Bruce-Bull.
Thank you, Steve. Perfect timing, because the Manchester United players are just coming back out onto the pitch here at Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes, the skipper, leading them out. His fellow Portuguese, Diogo Dalot, alongside. They reach the halfway line. There's a member of coaching staff there. There are 6 little discs laid out on the floor just for a tiny little sprinting drill to get them ready to go again for the second half. And they lead this game by 1-0. Rasmus Højlund with a thumping finish that I really recommend you see on Match of the Day 2 tonight, 10:30 BBC One. What is noticeable about West Ham already out and ready to go in the white shirts, the light blue shorts and white socks, is that there will be a change of goalkeeper, James McFadden, at half-time for West Ham. Areola did take a whack, didn't he, quite early in the first half, where Zuma made a clearance, sort of bumped into him, and he was down for a bit but managed to keep going. But they've obviously decided to change it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest, because it was quite a heavy contact. As Zuma goes to clear it, Areola's coming out as well, and it's his shoulder that goes right into his face. And then, we spoke about the Bruno Fernandes chance where he whips it to the far post. He's at full stretch. As soon as he makes that save, he kind of takes a couple of seconds just lying down to get himself back up. And so often, you can get, the delayed effect. So I'm not surprised. I thought it was quite a heavy contact. I thought he'd done really well to get back up from it, but clearly not well enough to carry on.
The one thing that is for certain is it had absolutely no effect on the Rasmus Højlund goal, because even if he was absolutely at full sharpness and his very best, he wasn't saving that. Right, Kick-off from James Ward-Prowse. We had 2 goes at that. Thomas Souček set off too early, making his run down the right. So second go, Souček makes the run. They aim the long ball for him. It's headed away and cleared into the West Ham half. Kurt Zouma hoists the ball straight up in the air. He gets underneath it and heads it forward. Casemiro heads it back downfield. Hoyland was in an offside position, so doesn't challenge for it. And it eventually falls to Ben Johnson, and Johnson just hits it into an area down the right where he knows Jarrod Bowen will chase Lisandro Martinez. Nearly got caught out there by Bowen. Eventually plays the ball back to Maguire. Ball just stopped in front of Maguire there. He's expecting that to come a little bit more quickly, but Casemiro now plays down the left. Bruno Fernandes, lovely touch back to Casemiro. Can't find Hoyland with the pass. Fernandes comes in to try and win it off Edson Alvarez. Alvarez goes down, no free kick. Manchester United have it. Fernandes curls the ball into the middle of the pitch, and Dalot chests it down and brings it forward and then hits the shot, and it takes a couple of deflections, and Fabianski is able to run and smother it and keep the ball in play.
Nice little warm-up for Fabianski. Little deflection, takes all the pace off the shot. It's going wide anyway, but he runs out to get a little touch of it. But just before, when the ball comes to Casemiro, he's looking to play that into feet first time for Hoyland, who'd made the run in behind. And then after it, you can see Casemiro telling him he wants to come to feet.
Hoyland's lay off to Bruno Fernandes. Rashford has to turn quickly, but manages to keep that ball in play on the left. Fernandes' pass just behind him. Spun a full 360 there, did Rashford. Now Fernandes. Back to Casemiro, across to Dalot inside the West Ham half. Garnacho, about 15 yards in from the right-hand touchline, back towards the halfway line, and Garnacho receives it again in a more central position. Mainu just draws in the challenge of Emerson, plays back to Maguire. Maguire trotting up towards the halfway line with the ball at his feet, plays to Mainu. Mainu back here to Dalot, and Dalot on the turn with his left foot comes back to his goalkeeper Onana. Onana between the sticks for Manchester United. Dalot, Maguire, Martinez and Shaw. Maguire in for Varane, the only change from the 4-3 win at Wolves on Thursday night. Mainu and Casemiro. Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, with Hoyland the goal scorer through the middle. Mainu trying to get onto a ball inside the West Ham half. It was just beyond him. West Ham play back to Souček, who was in a tight spot there but wriggles out of it, and then he continues a run down the left. Pass is overhit. Maguire leaps in to cushion a little pass to his right, and then Maguire caught on the ball. Emerson takes it off him. Emerson into the penalty area for West Ham, delays and shoots and spoons it horribly wide. What an opportunity at the start of the second half for a shot on target or a cross to a teammate, and it goes a-begging.
That's a huge opportunity, and Martinez doesn't go and put pressure on Emerson, who does brilliantly to rob Harry Maguire. He's bearing down on goal. He takes quite a heavy touch, but he's got so much time. I'm looking at Jarrod Bowen as that break happens, and he just holds his position. I think he needs to go and break to get into the box for that square pass from Emerson, and then he gets his shot horribly wrong. A huge let-off for Man United in the end.
Manchester United streaking downfield from the goal kick. The cross from Dalot's behind everyone. Bruno Fernandes has it though. 25 yards out, inside left channel, curling ball, chested down by Garnacho. Garnacho trying to get it onto the left foot, deflected shot and in! Manchester United have a second goal. Lucas Fabianski could do nothing about that. It was hit with real power, but it took a big deflection, and it means Manchester United now have a comfortable lead. Manchester United 2, West Ham 0.
And that's what happens when you don't take your chances. We've gone from Emerson bearing down in goal, Onana's goal, and 30 seconds later Man United have the ball in the back of the net. They work it to Garnacho on the right hand side. He steps inside and takes a shot with his left foot. I think it would be a comfortable one for Fabianski, pretty much straight at him. It's Aguerd that stood in front of him, and he's trying to get out the way of it. It just hits off him and deflects into the back of the net. But that's what happens when you come here and you don't take your opportunities. Garnacho, really positive. I think he's gone straight at Fabianski. It just hits off Aguerd, who stood at the front post and into the back of the net. And it's a dream start to the second half for Man United.
We saw a great celebration from Rasmus Højlund in the first half when he did a bit of air guitar with his left leg. That was nice too from Alejandro Garnacho. He went running over in front of the East Stand and just plonked himself, just sat on top of the advertising hoardings, and then Kobbie Mainoo and Rasmus Højlund came and joined him, almost as if they were posing for a team photo. But again, it emphasises some of the youth, the exciting youth inside this Manchester United team lineup, because you've got Højlund at 20, Mainoo at 18 and Garnacho the goal scorer at 19, all with wide smiles on their faces, and Manchester United well ahead in the game, James.
It was so good it looked rehearsed. It was, because that is the future of Man United right there, sitting celebrating, and at the present, I have to say, having huge impact on the team at the minute. That's a lovely picture. Much better celebration in Hoylands in the first half.
I think the fans behind them were probably thinking, could you turn around, sit the other way, and then we can all have the picture, but it was more for their...
Well, imagine the view for the fans. It's all their names and numbers on the
lovely.
back. So
Yeah, good point.
Absolutely. Perfect picture for everyone in the stadium.
Yeah. Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 1, Wolves 1. Manchester United in the mood. Rashford speeding into the box, right-footed shot just wide. Could see what he was trying to do, cut in from the left, curl it into the bottom corner. Just couldn't quite get the angle on it. It's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, and that's been the difference for Marcus Rashford. Since he got a telling off from his manager, the reaction has been excellent. He just goes at speed. He's got one thing in his mind, to drive direct towards goal from the wide area, cut inside in that right foot, and he's trying to get the bend on it to put it into the back post of Lucas Fabianski, but he just doesn't wrap his foot round it. It ends up coming off the top of his foot and going the other way. But real intent there for Marcus Rashford as soon as he picks the ball up.
Manchester United going into this game on an unbeaten run of just 4 games in all competitions, but such has been their season. That is their longest unbeaten run of the season so far. And Erik ten Hag, I saw talking in the week and talking again in the programme notes today about rhythm and consistency and putting a run together. That's what they're trying to do. Bowen's cross took a little flick that. I think that's gone behind for a corner to West Ham. Quickly to Stamford Bridge, John Southall.
Chelsea 1, Wolves 2, 4 minutes into the half. 2 chances, 1 apiece. Neto into the area, saved by Petrovic. Then Palmer, lovely ball to Sterling. 14 yards out, unmarked, should have scored, missed it. 1-2 to Wolves.
Thank you, John. Yeah, I think I mistakenly said 1-1. I hadn't scribbled that down on my bit of paper. Chelsea 1, Wolves 2. Wolves scored late in the first half. Commentary of that one over on Radio 5 Sports Extra. And we've got Arsenal, Liverpool on the way on 5 Live this afternoon. John Murray will be bringing us the team news in a little while ahead of that one. Ward-Prowse, corner. Headed away by Casemiro. High ball, drops on the right boot of Ben Johnson. Nice touch, takes him away to the right. Ward-Prowse, Mainu in front of him. Passes back to Sofal. Sofal just digs a little ball out to Johnson on the right. Johnson runs into a couple of challenges. Mainu tackles him. Throw in for West Ham. Ward-Prowse scoops it up, thinks about going quickly, then leaves it, and Sofal instead picks the replacement ball up off the little plastic cone at the bottom of the slope, and we can very clearly see the number 5 on the back of his white West Ham shirt. West Ham playing from left to right towards the east stand in this second half. Long throw into the box. Casemiro wins a header. Rashford volleys it away. Slightly scuffs that, and the ball just dribbles towards Naif again. But West Ham have a job on now, because Manchester United lead them by 2-0. Emerson out to the left. Kudus tackled. Mainu prods it forward. Garnacho onto it. Speed on the outside here from Dalot. Look at Rashford busting a gut to get into space in the middle. Dalot takes his man on the outside. Again makes the tackle. Corner for Manchester United.
That's a brilliant counter from Man United. Dalot down the right hand side, and as you say, Rashford just making up the ground to get into that back post area to give Dalot an option if he manages to get past Eggert.
We'll try and get the post-match reaction from the 2 o'clock kickoffs, or some of it on before the half-4 start of Arsenal-Liverpool, but if we don't, of course, you'll hear some of it in half-time. 6:06 tonight with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage, and the Football Daily podcast there for you as always. Ben Haynes and Neda Manu are in charge of that on a Sunday night into Monday morning, available on the BBC Sounds app. Plenty again to talk about today. Here's Bruno Fernandes. The corner was taken short. Finds Dalot. Dalot hits a right-footed effort just wide of the left-hand post. Caught that so well. Little low 5 with his captain Bruno Fernandes. Goal kick for West Ham.
Yeah, it looked like a decent effort from here. Dalot just wraps his foot round it. Fabianski, I think, had it covered anyway at the near post, but it's a good effort.
Goal kick taken by Fabianski to his left. Gerd brings the ball out. Now Manchester United are hunting in packs here and trying to close West Ham down inside their own half. Edson Alvarez twisting and turning, trying to get away from Bruno Fernandes. Does brilliantly for West Ham. Strong run down the left, plays it forward. He was caught late, but advantage is played, and West Ham now streaking forward. Ward-Prowse, ball at his feet, inside the penalty area. Little pass to Emerson. Emerson's shot saved by Onana. Fabulous move, pitch length from West Ham, but in the end they couldn't beat Onana. Back to Stamford Bridge, John.
Chelsea 1, Wolves 2. Chance for Chelsea, though. Corner on the left-hand side from Chilwell, met by Thiago Silva. Headed it cleanly, but over the bar. Chelsea 1, Wolves 2.
Kudus on the ball for West Ham, wide on the right. brings it onto his left foot, 30 yards out, rolls it across to Alvarez. Alvarez, curling pass, bounces once and chested down by Johnson. Johnson's cross skids into the Manchester United area, cleared on the half volley low by Casemiro. Comes back to Aguerd across to Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse with his head up, bit of disguise on the pass. Fires it through to Kudus, wide to Sofal, first time cross, near post clearance from Martinez, bounces in front of Ward-Prowse, he comes back, controls it, no challenge on him, forward to Kudus, then Luke Shaw quickly tries to get a foot on the ball as Kudus controlled it, and he plays back to Zuma, and Zuma across to Aguerd on the halfway line, who now runs the ball forward, bobbles his pass out to Emerson, down the line it goes to Johnson. Good from Johnson, cross comes in from the left, half blocked, falls to Emerson. Emerson forced away from goal by Mainu. Comes back to Aguerd, across to Ward-Prowse. Sofal is hanging wide on the right here in front of us. Ward-Prowse goes up the middle, plays a 1-2 with Alvarez. Zuma involved now. Zuma in the inside right channel, uses Sofal. Sofal plays down the right to Kudus. Shaw makes the tackle. And Manchester United get the throw because the ball came off Kudus. Henry Moran is watching Bournemouth against Nottingham Forest.
Early stages of the second half, Bournemouth 1, Forest 1. We've just seen a free kick flicked over the bar from Kluivert. Bournemouth on the front foot. Bournemouth 1, Forest 1.
So throw in for Manchester United. Slight delay in play here. Bit of attention needed for... Oh, is it a contact lens? Possibly for Edson Alvarez. So that's just going to hold us up for a second. Perfect start though, James. There's the photo you're talking about, just seeing on our monitor now. Players with their backs to the fans, Mainu, Garnacho, Højlund arm in arm. That is a lovely picture. It's actually, again, reminiscent of the statue, isn't it, outside the Best Lord Charlton, all arm in arm.
Yeah, they've got a way to go to match those.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting that.
But yeah, it's been a good start. Man United obviously get the deflection that put them in front, then they show a good reaction. Last 5 minutes or so, I think they've got a little bit sloppy and give West Ham encouragement. But
here they come again. Garnacho onto the Casemiro pass. Goodness me, Fernandes hit it well. Rashford's completely mishit it. Spooned the ball miles in the air. Went for the first time shot, edge of the box, got it all wrong. And he's got a really sort of overly theatrical reaction to it. Head to the skies, arms held out wide. I mean, it would have been some finish had he pulled it off, and he got it all wrong. Yeah,
it would have been, and he's clearly frustrated, but we wouldn't be surprised to see him score from that position either, such as his quality. It's just a great attack again, with speed and pace down that right hand side.
Oh, tricky pass back from Ward-Prowse there to Fabianski, who did well to control it and get it away to Zuma. Casemiro heads the ball forward. It bounces in front of Fernandes for Manchester United, who lead West Ham by 2-0. Ball on the turn to Casemiro. Casemiro under pressure keeps it. Fernandes then wins another throw for Manchester United.
I think David Moyes will be disappointed. The amount of times they've worked it into the wide area, so far 5 minutes or so ago, it's one where he should never be hitting the first man. Perfect way to pass, just ready for him to step on and deliver that into an area. It's a low cross again that's cut out by Alessandro Martinez, and they've done that so often this afternoon, where they've worked it well into the wide area and they just haven't been able to find, even just put it into an area to allow a West Ham player to go and attack it.
Former Scotland international James McFadden with us at Old Trafford, coming up to 15 minutes played in the second half, so just over half an hour to go. Manchester United comfortable. Rashford trying to get away from Kudus, thought he was fouled. Andy Madley doesn't agree. Rashford gets up quickly and goes chasing back. Manchester United teammates help out. Kudus is now down hurt after a Bruno Fernandes challenge, but suddenly West Ham are on the ball. Picks himself up, he's okay. And wide it goes to Emerson on the left. So Manchester United look comfortable at the moment. I thought they were comfortable against Wolves on Thursday night, so I'm not taking anything for granted.
They were far more comfortable against Wolves than they are this afternoon, and they're still very comfortable. Should have been out of sight at half time, but I think the goal coming this side, in the second half, is certainly giving them a little bit of extra energy and that incentive to go and get another one. Plus they've got that, it's not too long ago, so they've got that fresh in their minds that they have been pegged back from being 2 goals ahead very recently.
Ball across to Sofal. Manchester United will be a commentary game for us on 5 Live next Sunday as well. Should be a good one that, away to Aston Villa at 4:30, our 2 o'clock commentary. This time next week, West Ham Arsenal, and of course we've got Arsenal Liverpool on the way this afternoon. West Ham passed the ball out of play inside the Manchester United half, so that will be a throw on the right for Manchester United.
It comes down to moments in games as well. You look at that Emerson opportunity where he's bearing down in goal. I think for me, Jared Bowen is ahead of Emerson when he wins the ball and he hangs out at the edge of the box. He should make the run and try and, affect Martinez, who's the only one back. In the end, Martinez probably overcovers anyway, and the chance opens up for Emerson. He takes a horrible touch that comes outside his body. He's so off balance, it gets his shot all wrong. But within 30 seconds, Man United have the ball in the back of the net and it's 2-0. Could have been so different.
Our producer Rob Schofield has just spotted on social media that the Garnacho celebration may have been a little mimicry of what Mohamed Kudus did when he scored in the 2-0 win against Manchester United just before Christmas. Went down and sat on the advertising hoardings, not with his teammates there, so Kudus is pictured on his own. Manchester United with three of them sitting there, but there's quite a lot of that going on now. It's whenever anyone scores against Tottenham, they get the old darts out, don't they, for James Maddison.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for us.
Yeah, we love it.
Because you get to talk about it. And Rob, just trying to dig and find something to add an extra bit of needle to the game.
Yeah, Shaw to Fernandes. Casemiro floated pass forward to Højlund. Lovely layoff to Fernandes. Rashford again sprinting away down the left. Fernandes goes right. Brilliant pass to Garnacho. Dalot steaming up on the outside. Garnacho keeps it onto his left foot. Still Garnacho pokes it across to Rashford. Not enough on the pass. Rashford was getting ready to try and hit another first-time shot. Ball up to Bowen. Martinez quickly onto him. Bowen wants a free kick. David Moyes also thinks his team should have had one. Nothing doing, and Scott McTominay is getting ready to come on for Manchester United. We were talking about David Moyes and his time as the Manchester United manager in that season immediately after Sir Alex Ferguson left, which was, the impossible task, really. 51 games in charge, lost 15 of them, so he lost his job with 4 games to play in the season, with Manchester United 7th in the table. Manchester United this season have lost 14 games and started today in 8. So, there's different times and context was different, etc., but they've lost a lot of games this season, Manchester United.
Yeah, they have, and as you say, David Moyes got in after Sir Alex Ferguson, got in after winning a league title as well. I've always believed that if Alex Ferguson thought that team could win another title, he would have waited another year.
Well, since then, 6 managers full-time, 2 League Cups, 1 FA Cup, 1 Europa League, but nowhere near winning another Premier League title. McTominay still waiting to come on. It's still Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and Wolves are 2-1 up at Chelsea this afternoon. Both of those games kicked off at 2 o'clock. West Ham need to get the next goal clearly in this game. Johnson on the left, and that's a poor cross with his left foot, head up. Sliced behind for a goal kick. Back to Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
We've played an hour. Chelsea 1, Wolves 2. Palmer down the right hand side, slightly deflected his shot into the hands of the goalkeeper at the other end. 2 free kicks for Wolves, both in good position. Sarabia into the side netting and Lamina into the wall. Chelsea 1, Wolves 2.
John, did you know the winner of the Traitors, Harry, is at Stamford Bridge today? He's a Chelsea fan, big smile on his face, enjoying probably not enjoying the game so much as the Chelsea fan.
He won't be enjoying the game.
No, but he's 100% faithful. Kobbie Mainoo's coming off. Listen to that, by the way, for Kobbie Mainoo. A lot of that, I think, still reaction to the fabulous late winner at Molineux on Thursday. They've got a really special player there, James McFadden. Mainoo off, McTominay on. Yeah,
and just listen to the reception. That just shows you the impact that he's having. He's not played a lot of games in the first team, but already, he's a fan favourite. Every club loves to see young players coming through and having an impact. And I think you're right. I think, a part of it is that outstanding goal that was scored on Thursday night against Wolves.
Kudus on the turn, getting away from Shaw. Shaw trying to get back at him. The pass now to Bowen. Bowen on the right. Casemiro rushed in there. Knocked Bowen off balance. Bowen did well to keep that ball. Finds Sofal in space on the right. One touch from the full-back. Curling deep cross to the far post. Maguire stretches. Garnacho is back there helping out. And at the second attempt, he's able to smash the ball away into the Sir Alex Ferguson stand opposite us and throw in for West Ham.
Yeah, it's not a great ball, but it's a better one because it misses the first man, and what it does is force Man United into having to defend the situation. Garnacho getting in at the back post just to clear that, because the ball missing the first man creates a bit of panic and makes Man United have to defend. It's something that, I keep saying it, David Moyes was disappointed with the quality they've shown in the wider areas, because they've had opportunities to put it in there and that's the only time I think that they've actually beaten the first man.
Just over 25 minutes to play. Taking you back to Bournemouth shortly as well. Last we heard Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Alvarez runs into trouble for West Ham, scampers back and wins the ball back. Here's Souček, middle of the Manchester United half. Short pass to his left to Sofal. Back to Souček. Bruno Fernandes in front of him, so he passes back to Aguerd. Aguerd across to Zuma. Zuma to Souček. Manchester United stand off. Then Fernandes moves towards Souček. Ball to the right to Sofal. Another goal at Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
What about this? Chelsea 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers through 3. Cunha again. Neto played it into him. The Chelsea defence was nowhere, and Cunha swept it in. Is there a way back from this for Chelsea? Chelsea 1, Wolves 3.
Lisandro Martinez down hurt at the moment. Vladimir Sufal made a challenge on him behind the dead ball line as he was trying to keep a ball in play. Manchester United teammates have immediately surrounded Martinez. They are not happy with the challenge made by Sofal. We'll just check in at Bournemouth for a second and then we'll be back with this. Henry Moran.
Bournemouth 1, Forest 1, scrappy second half. 3 substitutions for Bournemouth to try and give them some impetus. Tavernier, Scott and Billing on. It remains Bournemouth 1, Forest 1.
Just watching a replay of the Sofal challenge on Martinez, who's missed a bit of football this season through injury. James, you've had another look at that. What did you make of all of that?
Yeah, I mean, Sofal does brilliant. You know, a little bit of skill, flicks the ball through Martinez's legs and then runs to the byline to try and get the cross. Martinez steps across him and gets his body in first. So then it becomes, just a collision, a coming together. It's not really a challenge. Martinez goes down first and Sofal then puts his weight through the outside of Martinez's knee, which puts a bit of pressure on the inside. I think that Martinez was worried that maybe done a bit of damage to the medial ligament in his knee, but I wouldn't say it was a bad challenge. It was just a coming together and probably an uncomfortable one and a worrying one for Martinez, but it looks like he should be okay.
Yeah, the reaction of his teammates there was interesting, wasn't it, James? As in their concern for him, knowing that obviously he's missed some football this season, how important he is.
And he gestures straight away as soon as he goes down. You can feel it, especially if he's had problems in that area before. I've had a lot of bad injuries. I've injured my medial ligament, and it's not a terrible one. You can come back within 6 weeks for a knee injury. It doesn't sound great, but it's actually pretty good. But it is really uncomfortable. It's a sore one. The pain it's a strange pain, one that you do not enjoy. But if you've had an issue with that before, any kind of pressure on it, it makes you feel it, and the worry is that it goes again. But it looks to be okay to carry on anyway.
Midway through the second half, that's James McFadden here at Old Trafford. Manchester United leading West Ham by 2-0. Charlton Athletics social media feed saying they're delighted to announce the appointment of Nathan Jones as their new manager. So Nathan Jones, who you'll have heard plenty of on 5 Live, our football coverage this season, is going to be a little bit busier with other things from now on. New manager of Charlton. West Ham waiting to make a double change. Calvin Phillips is going to come on as one of them. What's happening at Stamford Bridge, John Southall?
Well, Chelsea all over the place. Chelsea 1, Wolves 3. Should have been 4. Sarabia at the back post, unmarked, put it over the crossbar. Chelsea 1, Wolves 3.
Doesn't sound too clever from Chelsea's point of view. League Cup final against Liverpool, not too far away, of course. Kudus runs into Højlund inside his own half. Ball rolls to Alvarez. What a pass over the top. Bowen chests it down, racing away from United defenders. Bowen shoots. Brilliant sliding challenge from Dalot. Gets the block in, and a standing ovation from the Manchester United fans. Ward-Prowse runs across to try and cover the ball. Gets a nudge in the back. Manchester United concede the free kick, and Lisandro Martinez is down and may not be able to continue.
It's a blow if Martinez can't continue, but that is an outstanding block from Diogo Dalot, because the ball is perfect over the top of Harry Maguire. Jared Bowen takes a brilliant first touch. He's going away, so Dalot's having to make up so much ground to get a block in. Comes on his right foot. It looks like he's going to put it in the back of the net, at the very least test Onana in goal, and Dalot makes a desperate lunge to get a block on it. It's a tremendous block, and one that, if that had gone in, changes the complexity of the game. But the big concern around here is Lisandro Martinez down in the ground.
2 big chances for West Ham in this second half. One fell to Emerson at 1-0 down at the near post when he just got the shot all wrong and spooned it high and wide, and then that one at 2-0 down from Jarrod Bowen, and Dalot just closed the ground down so quickly to slide in and make the block. And now we're waiting for West Ham to get restarted with the free kick, but Lisandro Martinez, his afternoon is over. Rafael Varane will replace him.
Yeah, I just showed you the instant again. So far actually just falls on top of him, and it's just unfortunate that that's where Martinez's leg is. He's clearly tried to get through it. You'd be hoping that, you know, it's not a serious one and maybe just a little bit uncomfortable for him, but it's not a bad sub to be bringing on, is it?
No. Last thing Rafael Varane does before he runs on is put the gloves on. Doesn't really feel like a gloves afternoon to me necessarily.
Maybe it would if you've been living in Madrid for the past 10 years.
20 minutes to play at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, West Ham 0. John Murray will be with us shortly for team news ahead of Arsenal-Liverpool. Free kick into the penalty area. Varane immediately into the action, heads it over his own bar, and West Ham will get themselves a corner. And Rob has spotted Harry Maguire just hopping around a bit, feeling the back of his thigh after that Dalot block, because he was involved in the chase back as well. So we'll keep an eye on Harry Maguire over the next 5 minutes or so. Maxwell Cornet, Calvin Phillips waiting to come on for West Ham. Ward-Prowse, deeper delivery to the far post. There is Maguire, heads the ball away, only as far as Ben Johnson. Johnson to his right to Ward-Prowse, gives it back to Johnson. Then the cross comes in, that looked good. Header away from Shaw, might fall to Emerson. Acrobatic volley, dipping wide. Goal kick for Manchester United. They lead West Ham 2-0. So, second commentary of the day comes from the Emirates Stadium in the Premier League. Arsenal against Liverpool at 4:30. John Murray has the team news.
Yes, and I have confirmation that Gabriel Jesus is out of the match, not involved for Arsenal because of an ankle injury. Smith Rowe drops to the bench, so Jorginho and Havertz come in for Arsenal's 2 changes from midweek. So that looks like Havertz up front for Arsenal, and a blow for Liverpool in that there's no Szoboszlai. As expected, Conor Bradley is absent after the death of his father. Nunez is fit enough to be a substitute, so Gakpo, Gravenberch and Alexander-Arnold come in, and Thiago is back as one of the Liverpool substitutes.
Thank you, John. John has the company of Matt Upson for our commentary from 4:30 this afternoon. If you're on the move, of course, BBC Sounds app, you can find 5 Live, Sports Extra as well on there. All the football commentaries, all the podcasts, not just 5 Live as well, all the other BBC radio stations. It is well worth downloading and getting on your devices. So Manchester United leading West Ham 2-0. Stamford Bridge latest comes from John Southall.
Still Chelsea 1, Wolves 3, but a chance for Chelsea to get back into it. Nicholas Jackson back from the Africa Cup of Nations at the back post with a header wide, and they need to take those, Chelsea. If you see the third goal again, Neto did brilliantly for Wolves down the right hand side to pull it back for Cunha, and Wolves lead by 3-1.
Yeah, Neto, hugely important player to return for Wolves, having a real impact. Manchester United fans unhappy here. Luke Shaw penalised for a foul. Eric Ten Hag throws his arm up in the air in frustration. West Ham have made their 2 changes. So foul, booed off by the Manchester United fans, and So Cech have gone off. Maxwell Cornet and Calvin Phillips have come on. 17 minutes to go. Manchester United trying to see this game out, and in their last 5 league games they've conceded 2 or more goals in every single one of them, but now they're looking for a third goal of their own. Rashford away on the left, early cross, looks for Garnacho, layoff nearly to McTominay. Cornet's there doing the defending, and McTominay's caught him sliding in to try and win that ball. Free kick for West Ham.
Oh, it's a great break again. Højlund coming deep, he spots the run of Rashford, he plays it so far in front of him, and I was actually quite surprised. You could see Garnacho making up the ground on the right hand side. I was surprised that Rashford played it first time, because we're not used to seeing him putting crosses in with his left foot, and he's just gets it slightly wrong, just slightly behind Garnacho. But it was a devastating counter attack from Man United.
Alvarez forward to Bowen. West Ham no, after what they saw on Thursday night and the way Manchester United have been going this season, if they get one back here with 10 or so minutes to go, they might be able to rattle Manchester United. Here's Ben Johnson wide on the right, doesn't see an option, goes himself down the right, gets the cross in past Shaw. Casemiro is able to volley it away, forward to Rashford, back to Casemiro, into the feet of Shaw, clip ball up to Højlund, tries to get Rashford away down the left. Just over 15 minutes to play, and still Manchester United lead 2-0, and that was a reminder of the Rashford pace as well when he really gets going down the left. So here's Calvin Phillips, second appearance for West Ham on loan from Manchester City, sitting in central midfield, of course, plays it to Ward-Prowse, goes wide to Cornet. Cornet's on the left, Kudus on the right, Bowen through the middle for West Ham. Johnson looks for Kudus. Kudus up against Shaw. Can't get past Shaw there, so comes back to Johnson again. Into Phillips, got to be careful there. Bruno Fernandes nearly took it off him. Manages to play it back to Ben Johnson. Runs away from Rashford, running into the Manchester United half. Pass across to the left to Emerson. Wide it goes now to Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse thinks about the early release over the top for Bowen. Decides to hold on to it. Slides it through cleverly to Cornet. And back to Ward-Prowse again. So he's in the middle of the Manchester United half. Cornet falls over, picks himself up, makes a run off the ball. Emerson on the ball for West Ham, wide on the left, brings it in field and gives it to Ward-Prowse. Need to have some end product here. Cornet again, right over on that left-hand touchline. Emerson pops up in space. Corner of the Manchester United penalty area. Alvarez, with his back to the Manchester United goal, runs away from their goal and plays back to Calvin Phillips, who, being on loan from Manchester City, gets a few boos and jeers from some of the home fans. Wide ball to Cornet, has to leap to control that on his chest. Garnacho in with the challenge. Cornet's beaten him. Now he's got to try and beat Dalot as well. Takes it down to the byline, looks to win the corner, does win the corner, and with James Ward-Prowse in your team, winning corners becomes even more valuable.
Oh, of course it does, and it does really well, Cornet, because there's nowhere really for him to go. He thought about just taking a touch and delivering. Dalot was probably down the line where he would want to put the ball, and he just delays and manages to get a corner. I think he's done really well in that situation.
Last 15 minutes then of this game. Corner flag being bent over by the wind. It's actually blown the ball off the spot that James Ward-Prowse had placed it. So he just checks with referee Andy Madley that he can respot. He does so. And then with his right foot whips that ball in. Anana comes, punches, not much on it. Cornet drags the shot. Zuma shoots first time and hits it well wide. Goal kick for Manchester United. Marcus Rashford, I think, is now down flat on his face, holding his head inside the box.
Got clattered off his goalkeeper. As can happen when you're in that area. If your goalkeeper's going to come, he's going to take the ball and take everybody else out that's in front of him, no matter if it's a teammate. But they've actually, we've spoken about the threat from West Ham from set plays. Man United have defended them well. They haven't given up too many opportunities from those situations. I think it was deflected one just in front of Onana, where he has to make the reaction save. But Casemiro's won a fair few. Varansis' come on's 1-1. Luke Shaw's 1-1 as well. So they've defended those situations well.
13 minutes remaining in this game. Chelsea 3-1 down at home to Wolves over on Sports Extra. Still Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1, which is a commentary available online via the BBC Sports website and app. And we've got Arsenal, Liverpool still to come. And if you missed any of the Six Nations rugby over the weekend, BBC 2 6 o'clock. There's a Six Nations rugby special with all the highlights. The Rugby Union Daily podcast is well worth your time as well. I watched that Wales-Scotland game yesterday afternoon with Scotland 27-0 up and Wales seemingly heading for some sort of record defeat, and eventually ended 27-26 to Scotland. Some game. Here's Calvin Phillips. He's given the ball away inside the West Ham half. This is real trouble for West Ham. Bruno Fernandes played the ball just behind Garnacho. It slowed him down. Garnacho has Fernandes coming towards him, still inside the West Ham box. Deep cross to the far post. Rashford's volleyed cross in towards McTominay. Cleared by West Ham. Kudus is underneath it, but Luke Shaw is breathing down his neck. He's right there. Takes it off him. Kudus tackles him, and the throw-in is for Manchester United.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes just overhits the pass just outside Garnacho. He's looking for that inside in front of him, and it looks like the chance is gone, but they managed to keep it alive, and they're still on the attack here.
Yeah, with Rashford on the left. Fernandes made a clever little run directly to his left. Rashford, he went for the diagonal ball across field, and that got blocked. Here's Cornet for West Ham, tackled by Dalot, goes down. So West Ham get themselves a throw on the left. Latest from Bournemouth, Henry Moran.
Bournemouth 1, Forest 1. Bournemouth starting to push. Solanke's been quiet this afternoon, starting to come alive in this game though. Bournemouth 1, Forest 1.
Thank you, Henry. James Ward-Prowse in the centre circle for West Ham. Runs with the ball at his feet. Good pass to Ben Johnson. Space to cross here on the right. Ball into the near post. Varane stoops, heads it away. Calvin Phillips takes a touch, hits the shot, gets well underneath it, and it goes high over the bar to huge, joyous cheers from the Manchester United fans. I was just thinking, James, if Manchester United do go on to win this game, 2 Premier League wins in 4 days, players coming back from injury, obviously Lisandro Martinez going off is a little bit of a blow, but this is what Erik ten Hag wants to see. This looks like somewhere near Manchester United's best team, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and I think that, you know, winning the games is obviously great, and that is always the aim, to win the games, but they've played with an energy, with a purpose. You can see, you know, an identity about the team, and it helps getting everybody fit and trying to get, you know, consistency. You need to have as consistent a selection as you can. Of course, you can make tweaks in different areas, but when you decide to, not when it's enforced. So I think having everybody fit and available certainly helps that. But it has looked like a much better Man United side. You know, West Ham have had opportunities to maybe do better in certain situations, but I think Man United have looked really good today.
Manchester United trying to counter, Casemiro playing the ball through for Højlund, who was coming back for an offside position. West Ham need 2 goals in the last 10 minutes here to try and get something from this game, otherwise it's going to be another disappointing trip to Old Trafford for them and for David Moyes. Emerson passes back to Aguerd. Next up for West Ham is a home game against Arsenal, 2 o'clock commentary next Sunday on BBC Radio 5 Live. Fernandes wins it for Manchester United inside his own half, slides the pass down the right for Garnacho. Rashford making a threatening run in the middle, Garnacho looking for him, Zuma stretches, volleys it over his own bar. Corner for Manchester United.
That's a really dangerous delivery from Garnacho. Bruno Fernandes does brilliant initially to win the ball back, sets up the attack, and Garnacho, he only has one target. Højlund, I don't know if he's feeling the pace, decides to hang out at the edge of the box, maybe for the cutback. Rashford doesn't. He goes and makes that run to the back post. It's a dangerous ball for Kurt Zuma because he's running towards his own goal. He has to just try and get something on it. I think he gets his left shin on it. He'll be delighted to see that go over the bar and not into his own net.
Warm applause for Bruno Fernandes, the Manchester United captain, who is going to take this corner from the right. He holds his right arm in the air, runs to the ball, then just digs it short to Garnacho. He passes it back to Dalot. One touch from him. Bruno Fernandes wide on the right and plays all the way back to Casemiro, to the disappointment of some Manchester United fans. Floated ball into the box. There's a leap there from Dalot in the middle. West Ham haven't cleared this yet. Maguire heads it high into that West Ham penalty area. Oh, it might fall to Fernandes. Zuma's there, gets a challenge, and it goes behind for another corner.
I wonder if we could hit that first time. The ball's kept alive. West Ham just can't clear it. Harry Maguire with a header just into the area. It's Højlund that knocks it down. I think Bruno Fernandes, if he hits that first time, it's 3-0, it's game over. But credit to Kurt Zuma, he doesn't give up on it and gets the block, but they have to go and defend another corner.
Just looking at Manchester United's defensive positions here from an attacking corner, I was absolutely stunned, leading 3-2 against Wolves on Thursday night, how Wolves were able to go downfield and get that third goal. So I think Manchester United will not fall foul of that today. Attacking corner though, leading 2-0. Bruno Fernandes, low delivery into the near post, headed away by Ward-Prowse. Plenty of red shirts back to deal with that, and Luke Shaw just clatters it back to his goalkeeper, Andre Onana. I think the clean sheet will be quite important to Manchester United today as well, if they can hold on to that. Penalty at Chelsea, John Southall.
It's a penalty for Wolves. Remember, it's Chelsea 1, Wolves 3. Cunha is the man who's going to take it. He is sitting on a hat-trick at the moment. He was pulled down by Gusto on the left of the penalty area. The referee had to think about it, and he gave it. And now Cunha, Matthias Cunha, who's been outstanding this afternoon, will take this in front of the shed end, in front of the thousands of Wolves fans who cannot believe what they're seeing this afternoon. Chelsea 1, Wolves 3, and they've been great value for that Wolves as well. He stands on the edge of the penalty area. The referee just ushers everybody out of the area, and Cunha will eventually take the penalty. The referee just gets 1 or 2 players back onto the edge of the area, and here he comes, steps up, takes a little stutter and puts it into the bottom right hand corner. He has his hat-trick, and what a scoreline this is at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Wolves 4.
Manchester United 3, West Ham 0. 3 points wrapped up, and Alejandro Garnacho gets his second of the game and goes for exactly the same celebration. Goes trotting over to the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, sits himself on top of the advertising hoarding. It has been a wonderful afternoon for him and Manchester United, and they've got 3 points in the bag. Manchester United 3, West Ham 0.
That's a brilliant goal again from Man United. The ball into the midfield, Calvin Phillips is caught on it, Scott McTominay does brilliant to put him under pressure, and then they just break at such speed. It's really, really quick, incisive counter-attack. McTominay does brilliant along with Højlund. He spots Garnacho, he just delays, which affects Aguerd. He has to come to the ball. Garnacho takes one touch, gets out his feet and just slots it into the side netting. It's a devastating counter-attack from Man United. They deserve it. They've been the better team today. They've looked dangerous going forward. Such a cool finish from Garnacho.
3-0 then. 5 minutes plus added time to go. Manchester United moving above West Ham in the Premier League table and starting possibly to find a bit of team form and build a little bit of momentum. Post-match reaction to follow. If you don't get it on 5 Live, you don't manage to hear it this afternoon, this evening, it'll be there in the Football Daily podcast for you. Available on the BBC Sounds app. Harry Maguire with the ball at his feet inside his own half. Garnacho now looking for the hat-trick like Cunha for Wolves. Here is Garnacho, brought that down quite brilliantly. Brings Rashford into play. Rashford, edge of the box. Little trick from him. Again, wasn't falling for that. Good challenge. Manchester United trying to win it back. Rashford's done that. Plays to Casemiro. And it comes back to Varane again. And the home fans really enjoying what they're seeing now.
No wonder, you know, they look dangerous on the break. It's an incredible first touch from Garnacho. When it comes to Rashford, as soon as they lose it, they fight to win it back straight away, and they go in numbers, and that's why the crowd are reacting to it.
There's going to be no wins in 6 for West Ham in all competitions, but a first defeat in 7 Premier League games. Here's Ben Johnson. Johnson plays to Kudus on the right-hand side. West Ham were 2-0 winners against Manchester United not so long ago, deserved the win that day. Lucas Paquetá played a big part in it, didn't have him this afternoon. Manchester United leading 3-0. Edson Alvarez tries his luck from long range, and the ball is ballooned miles over the crossbar and goes behind for a goal kick. Another player coming back from injury for Manchester United is going to get some football. That is Victor Lindelof. So he'll come on for Luke Shaw, and Anthony is going to get a late run out for United as well. Luke Shaw, another very important returning player, crucial player for Manchester United in the closing weeks of the season. Their target for the moment, obviously, to get past West Ham, which they do with this win today. 6 points behind Tottenham with 15 games to go. Tottenham currently in 5th, 8 points behind Aston Villa, who they play next week. Top 5 spots may all get Champions League football next season, and an FA Cup 5th round tie to come as well, away to Nottingham Forest or Bristol City. So plenty for this Manchester United team still to play for this season. Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage will want your thoughts on them, Manchester United fans. Number to dial for 606 tonight, 08085 909 693. Before that, we've got commentary on Arsenal-Liverpool on the way. United come looking for a 4th. McTominay bringing the ball forward up to the edge of the box. Stands the cross up to the far post beyond Garnacho. He can't keep it in play, and it goes behind for a goal kick. That front 3, James, for Manchester United's looking very strong. Sharp at the moment, isn't it? With Garnacho right, Rashford left, and Højlund through the middle.
Yeah, it's when they go and attack, and particularly in the counter-attack, because of the pace that they have, how direct they are, they look really dangerous. And you can see the relationships are starting to build as well. We spoke about it before the game. Højlund setting up Rashford on a few occasions, just being that link man up front, as well as being able to run in behind, and they're all popping up with goals and assists. So yeah, it's certainly a front 3 that's coming together, but I think as a team it's looked like a much better team performance, because at times Man United have had to defend, whether it be cross balls, and they've done it. You think of the Dalot block as well, incredible block, bailing his teammate out of trouble. So this looks like a team that are together now. Yeah, I mean, you hesitate to say more like the Manchester United of old, and certainly the great teams of the past, but better from them. Goal at Stamford Bridge, John Southall.
Chelsea have got one back. Chelsea 2, Wolves 4. Thiago Silva at the near post, nodding in from a corner. Too little, too late, you fear, but you never know. Chelsea 2, Wolves 4, 5 minutes to play.
And I believe a sending off at Bournemouth, Henry Moran.
Yeah, substitute Philip Billing has just been sent off for Bournemouth. Well, he's still out there in the middle at the moment. Rebecca Welch had no hesitation as he brought down an advancing Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Bournemouth down to 10. Bournemouth 1, Forest 1.
Here's Anthony wide on the right for Manchester United. We're into the 90th minute of the game. Low pass into the feet of McTominay. Couldn't quite take that in his stride to tee himself up for the shot. Calvin Phillips brings the ball away for West Ham. Whenever he's been on the ball, Manchester United have been quickly onto him, and actually their third goal did come from him losing the ball inside his own half.
Yeah, but they've done that to everyone. They've tried to put pressure on as much as they can. And you know, I said it's more like a team performance. This is not a classic Man United side. They're far from it, but they are showing what you need is a bare minimum, as being a team that's organised, that's hard working, that wants to go and attack, but also when they have to go and react and press and you know, win the ball back, they're doing it as a team. They look like a team, a unit that is together, and that hasn't been the case for a long time here.
Rafael Varane on the ball inside his own half. 6 minutes of added time, but Manchester United have already comfortably wrapped this up, I would think, leading West Ham by 3-0. 10-man Bournemouth 1-1 against Nottingham Forest. Commentary on the closing stages of that game available via the BBC Sports website and app. Chelsea have pulled a goal back, but still 4-2 down at home to Wolves, having been well beaten at Anfield in the week as well. So spot of bother there. Another one for 6:06 tonight. Garnacho's been fouled inside the West Ham half wide on the left, so that'll be a Manchester United free kick on what has been a very satisfactory afternoon for them. Garnacho slowly to his feet. Bruno Fernandes now takes the free kick. Little 1-2 with Casemiro. Walking pace, slowing it down. No urgency to do anything in particular. Let's keep the ball, see the game out. Here's Casemiro, chased by Calvin Phillips. And it comes back to Varane. Cross to Harry Maguire. Manchester United fans all around us on their feet and applauding. Robin van Persie in the stands this afternoon. I think will have enjoyed this. As a former Manchester United player, we'll probably have a keen ear on our commentary this afternoon as well of Arsenal against Liverpool, which kicks off at 4:30. Here's Dalot, plays wide to McTominay, forward to Anthony. So Anthony's now wide on the right, Garnacho on the left, and Rashford through the middle. Ball down the right for McTominay to chase, though. Rashford is offering support. He wants it from McTominay. Plays it back here to Anthony, though. Anthony dancing into the West Ham box. Little 1-2 with Rashford, doesn't quite come off. Calvin Phillips is there. Tries to effect a clearance there. He's lost it to Anthony. Emerson in with the challenge. Anthony's taken it off him as well. Ball pings off Rashford. Falls to Aguerd, clears it with his left foot. Varane tidies up with a header on the halfway line. Casemiro lobs a volleyed pass back to Lindelof, and Lindelof comes running forward with a bit of fresh energy for Manchester United. Garnacho tries to play him in behind. Garnacho, great challenge there on Ben Johnson. Now he seems to be holding, well, at least hobbling here, having made that tackle. He's at walking speed. Garnacho decides not to take him on. 2 minutes of added time have been played, and Manchester United lead West Ham 3-0, and they are toying with their opposition right now. Curling pass from Garnacho back to Fernandes. Dalot prods it forward to Lindelof. Here to Rashford on the turn. Little pass roll to McTominay, just wide. Goal kick for West Ham.
It's great play again. You know, as you'd say, they're toying with West Ham, but they just up the tempo, turn the screw. They've got bodies forward. I thought McTominay was potentially going to play in Anthony, who was just on his right hand side, but it opens up for him and just drags his shot wide. But it's really good play again. Look, it's easy when you're 3-0 up and you're cruising, you're coasting. It's easy to do this, but it's also easy to take your foot off the gas and just knock the ball about and just wait for the end of the game for the referee's whistle. So you've got players coming onto the pitch, and McTominay, Anthony, Lindelof wants to get involved. They all want to impress, they all want to get in this side. It can only be good for them, because then it brings competition for places.
3 minutes of added time remaining. Long clearance downfield from Fabianski, controlled by Cornet. Played back here to Kudus. Drive with his left foot wide of the target. Manchester United's clean sheet remains intact. Back to Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
Chelsea 2, Wolves 4. The board's just gone up. 10 minutes added on. Gallagher's just missed a great chance for Chelsea, edge of the area. His shot was blocked. If Chelsea were to get one now, it would make things very interesting. Chelsea 2, Wolves 4. 10 minutes added on.
Onana with the ball at his feet inside the 6-yard box for Manchester United. Measured pass to Maguire. Maguire bringing the ball out from the back down the right hand side, followed by Bowen. Pass find its target. Ball played to McTominay. McTominay drills a diagonal ball. Garnacho, first touch just let him down there, allowed Johnson to get in, make the tackle, and that's actually going to be a throw into West Ham.
That's such a good crossfield pass from Scott McTominay. Lindelof's making the run just inside Garnacho, and for once First time today, I think his touch has been off slightly. Usually good afternoon, Garnacho.
West Ham have taken their throw. Game is up for them. It's been up for a while this afternoon. Had their chances at 1-0 down, particularly for Emerson. He couldn't take that one, and the brilliant block from Dallow when Jarrod Bowen hit a shot that potentially could have made it 2-1, that could have made things interesting. But Manchester United have been the better team, haven't they, James?
They have. The Emerson one is the one, because it's at 1-0 and within 30 seconds it's 2-0, and they don't make the most of it. I still think that Jarrod Bowen has to go and offer for that square pass. But yes, Manchester United getting the second goal, it was a good time for them. It re-energised them. They've used the ball really well.
Kudus ball on the turn is Ward-Prowse, very nearly played in. Cornet wide on the left hand side. Important block on that pass. It's back with Onana. Onana clears with his right foot into the West Ham half. No Manchester United player is there again. Will run across to get it for West Ham.
Yeah, I'm just saying, they've used the ball well. They've shown a lot of control, Man United, and when they've been asked questions, particularly from cross balls, they've defended them well, and they've shown, they can be a threat going forward. So yeah, they've deserved to win the game, there's no doubt for me, but there's huge moments in there, the Emerson one in particular, that helped shape the game as well. But you have to credit Man United for going straight up the park and putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, that was Garnacho's first goal. Big deflection on that, took it past Fabianski. Late chance here for West Ham. Last seconds of the game. Kudus inside the Manchester United penalty area, trying to make space for a shot. Does hit the shot, that's blocked, and it spins away, and West Ham will have a corner right at the end of this game. Manchester United are moving above them in the Premier League table. They will go to 38 points. West Ham will be on 36 and Brighton on 35. Tottenham 6 points ahead of Manchester United on 44, and Aston Villa 8 points ahead of them on 46. Arsenal start today on 46 with the leaders Liverpool on 51. Commentary on Arsenal-Liverpool to come as Ward-Prowse floats the corner across. Anthony is back, heads the ball away, and the full-time whistle blows. Roars ring around Old Trafford. Manchester United fans much happier with what they've seen this week. A thrilling 4-3 win at Molineux, a game they should have won comfortably, in fact, and were saved by Kobbie Mainoo at the end. But this, much different. 1-0 lead in the first half. Rasmus Højlund with a brilliant strike. Garnacho got 2 in the second half. And I think Erik ten Hag, James McFadden, will want to make sure that this is the start of something, some consistent performances like this from his team.
Oh, without doubt. I think that it has to be, because there was so much control, but the energy levels throughout the team, even at the end there, Kudus is cutting inside, he's got a lot of bodies in front of him, he gets his shot away and Harry Maguire gets a block in, and it's high fives all round, because they appreciate that they're trying to keep that clean sheet. But this has to be a starting point for Man United in terms of their energy, their effort, their application, their willingness to work as a team. They get the rewards today, and it has to be the bare minimum going forward for them.
Very good win for Manchester United this afternoon, and as a final note, it does seem very fitting that a couple of days ahead of the 66th anniversary of the Munich air disaster, when we remember those brilliant Busby babes that we lost all that time ago, that it was Manchester United's youngsters that did the business this afternoon. That's the image that will stay in the mind, actually, of the three of them, Mainoo, Højlund and Garnacho, all sitting and celebrating the Garnacho goals. Garnacho got 2, Højlund got 1. Manchester United run out 3-0 winners against West Ham.
And I think, James McFadden, that the word that Manchester United fans will possibly most have enjoyed about this performance today is a word you used right at the end of commentary: control. It's not something we've associated with them for quite a long time, actually, but for most of that game they had it.
Yeah, without doubt. I think, if you go back to Thursday, they were so good going forward in the first half. They should have been, 4 or 5 up at half time, but then they lost control of the game. They allowed Wolves back into it, and they almost, dropped points and managed to, salvage it at the end. But today it was about control. They went 1-0 up. They didn't go and chase that second goal. They didn't go and overcommit bodies forward. They just knocked the ball about a bit and tried to entice West Ham to go and put them under pressure. And then, West Ham had opportunities to put balls in the box. For all I'm critical, the crosses were poor, but you then have to look at defending, positioning of the defenders within the box, how many clearances they get on it, how many first contacts they managed to get. Huge threat from set plays, West Ham. Man United managed to deal with it. So yeah, they had a lot of control, the energy levels were there, and you could see that. The crowd obviously enjoyed what they watched today, but the players must have felt better look, the easiest thing to do as a football player when you go on the pitch is know that you're going to give your all, and it sounds really basic, sounds really simple, and that's because it is. If you go and work hard and you're a top player, you will enjoy it, you'll get the benefits of it. And Man United got that today. So much control in the game, they're really comfortable, they upped the tempo when they had to, they knocked the ball about and tried to move West Ham as much as they could as well. And I'm sure the players would have enjoyed that today.
We'll be back with you guys in a moment, but speaking of control, Chelsea have none of it. John Southall.
None at all. It's been a really poor performance this by Chelsea. They trail Wolves by 4-2. We're in the 8th minute of 10 added on as Nicholas Jackson tries to get on the end of that, goes behind for a Chelsea corner. Bellegarde could have made it 5 a moment ago, but a tame finish and saved by Petrovic. Chelsea 2, Wolves 4.
10-man Bournemouth look like hanging on, Henry Moran?
Well, they do. Forest are trying to create an opportunity without much success as the ball comes forward. This could be a chance actually for Bournemouth, and there's work done really well in defence by Omobamidele, who's had a good game. Solanke's been very quiet up front for Bournemouth, and deep in stoppage time it is Bournemouth 1, Forest 1.
Back to Old Trafford. James, you were talking about the teamwork and the teammates then. One thing that really came through to me is, remember going back a couple of months now, Champions League game away from home, Kobbie Mainoo makes a big mistake. No Manchester United players go around him and it became a bit of a story. You fast forward to now, you had the way all of Lisandro Martinez's teammates surrounded him when he picked up his injury. You had the way all of Jota's teammates, Dalot's teammates surrounded him when he made that challenge. I'm looking now at pictures of Rasmus Højlund with his arm round the shoulders of Alejandro Garnacho. Feels very different.
Yeah, it does. It does. You could see that. You could see that today, whether it was, a block, whether it was a defensive header. Of course, when the goals are scored, that picture will circulate for a long time of the 3 young players here as well. But this was a team that when they lost the ball, there was no arms up in the air, there was no finger pointing, there was no blame. It was right, win it back and win it back as a team. And okay, look, that doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect and you're not going to have disagreements. But this was a group of players that looked like they were all in it together. Whether it was going attacking and pushing bodies forward, whether it was going defending, and the wide players had to do a lot of defending at times as well as the midfielders. And even right at the end, it's 3-0, the game's done, you're in added time, Harry Maguire gets a block in and everybody's round him, high five, celebrating the block. It probably wouldn't go in anyway. I don't think it was a particularly brilliant shot, but it's shown that this team are together, and it's something that hasn't been the case. As you say, not so long ago it was finger pointing. It's not my fault, it's somebody else's fault. I'm not trying hard because every time I make a run I don't get the ball. It's not fair. That needs to go. You need to go on that pitch and you need to be in it together. And if you start feeling sorry for yourself, which a lot of the players have done, then you'll get punished for it. You won't get results. So if you're in it together, you can achieve great things. It's only a starting point, and it's a bare minimum when you're in a team that you go and press and you press in numbers, that you expect obviously high standards of your teammates, you expect high standards of yourself, but you also at times have to go and support them. You have to go and say, well done. That was a good effort, unlucky. And you can see that in abundance today, but it can't just be a one-off. It has to be the standard is set now for Man United and these players, and it has to continue.